thought you were about to start the actual
Podcast 7 is officially started, everyone.
This is the Podcast of Destiny, Volume 7. Today we're going to be talking about...
the video game awards.
the MMAs.
Yeah, today for the very first time we're going to be physically in the same room with each other. Unless Hunter's walking away right now.
I just need to stretch, you know?
No, he's just stretching his old bones.
This is the first official podcast we're all in the same room.
Yeah. You can tell that there isn't like a 2-second delay between every single person talking to each other.
And all our voices don't sound like shit because we're all talking in the good microphone.
Oh yeah, all the good.
You say that, but then after like an hour of recording, you realize that my voice is really quiet because I'm not talking loud enough or close enough.
I think you're good.
I think we're
It's
okay
pretty
if you're
good
not
at
in
it.
the video anyways.
Okay. Says you. We wanted to kick you out.
I can't say I would blame you for doing such a thing.
Alrighty, so the Game Awards 2019.
Does anybody have Does anybody kind of remember the pacing of how it went? Like, 'cause I don't remember the order of what.
My pacing was completely screwed up because I did it at like 2 times speed, sometimes 1 time speed.
I watched it all the way. I watched it all the way through, and
Yeah.
I don't really remember much of any of it.
I was playing Code Vein.
And I don't remember the order because I'm just gonna say this as like a first start off point. I thought the Game Awards was like the most useless thing this year. Like, I felt like
I liked it.
I thought it was funny, and there was a lot of like memey, jokey stuff I could make out of it. Like the whole time I was just laughing because it felt really dumb.
Mm.
Like, oh look, Jack Black and Dwayne The Rock Johnson Jumanji movie, and then it shows their ugly models in dreams, and then they're like, look, The Rock's face is ugly.
There was so many just ads in it.
Vin Diesel coming out. I legit thought Vin Diesel was gonna walk out like he usually is, drunk and like make a fool of himself on stage, but no, he was actually like somewhat sober. He talked about his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about how him and his whatever her name is chick played Street Fighter and Tekken all the time, but then in reality they probably only played it like once, and they're just gonna associate themselves with the gaming community.
Yeah, he just got in trouble for always leaning down on the microphone.
I mean, to be fair, everybody had to, because why didn't they just readjust it for people?
Because they didn't. You don't have to. Like, he was standing up full height talking, and it picked him up.
I know,
just like this microphone is.
Some people feel like they have to be able to talk towards the microphone, not in the general air of the audience, because sometimes it's just because you can hear people, but sometimes people like to have their voice at a specific range for themselves to hear, or they just have like a paranoia against it. So you probably want to be able to talk directly in the microphone so he can hear himself better.
Mm.
But
my experience with the Video Game Awards was waking up, reading the entirety of it on an article because I don't give a shit about watching it, and then apparently ruining it for Paul because he didn't watch it by 7 a.m.
Yeah, you freaking just... I was just right halfway through the middle of it, and then Messenger pops up. Whoa, Sekiro got Game of the Year. Oh my god.
I'll say this.
I mean, what does it even matter
I'm
anyways?
I hated watching the awards, and I'll say this. This is the first year I've ever watched it completely. And I'm probably gonna go back to never watching it again because I always thought they were so boring. I didn't think any of the awards were meaningful, and I never thought any of the announcements were that cool.
Well, like, every single one of the awards was just boring garbage, nothing.
Well, that's the thing.
Why did you care that I accidentally said, "Oh, Sekiro won"? Like, why does it matter?
I assumed it was because Paul had like a game that he actually kind of like thought would like. I assumed you had one of those games that you would have really liked to win.
Well, I really didn't want Sekiro to win. I really didn't want a lot of those games.
Okay, I'll
to
say
win.
this. I'll say this, and I kind of agree with Scotty on this. Like, Sekiro was like great, but like nobody really talks about it now, and that partially has to do with the fact that it came out really early. Like, the thing is, it's like we compared it to Smash Brothers, which came out last year. Sekiro and Smash both came out last year, but Smash Brothers has had updated content and whatnot and stuff that kept it talking about and relevant up till now. Sekiro hasn't really done anything to keep it relevant now. It just was a good game.
Yeah,
That's
And
still
even just the
qualifies.
base game of Super Smash Bros. Is like way more replayable because Sekiro, it seems like
And
most of the stuff is like a puzzle. Like, you just figure it out once and you get
I mean, I'll
past
say
it.
Sekiro is still in itself a very ingenious game from Software. It's just like they needed to keep more in the game or have enough stuff in the game to have it like flowing into, because that's its biggest problem is just that it came out last year, but it qualifies for this year. So like it didn't seem like it had any reason to like stay in the running because nobody's talking about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But
it just like with how great people were saying like Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne were, and how Sekiro just wasn't as good as those. It just didn't seem like a great super memorable game when you have such similar games that are better.
Scotty and I talked about it.
I guess that's up to personal preference, which is better. Like, I think I do like Bloodborne more, but like definitely not Dark Souls 3.
I will say though, because I was talking to Scotty about it, because personally he wanted Smash Brothers to win, if I had to be honest, I would have taken Smash Brothers, but I honestly would have wildly wanted, what was it? Was it Resi 2 that was in it?
Yeah, there's Resi 2.
I would have taken Resi 2 because Resi 2 got no awards, and it really should have like. How did it lose to
Resi
Call
2
of Duty?
was
How did it lose to
something.
how did it lose to Modern Warfare for sound design? Call
I
of Duty
do think the Resi 2 should have gotten more
Modern
awards.
Warfare uses the same stock gun sound effects that they've used forever.
Mm.
And then I was like, okay, was it the music? What music would you actually remember or care about? Like, nobody turns on Modern Warfare and says, I'm going to listen to the music for a bit. And I'll say, probably not many people do that for Resident Evil either, but Resident Evil has good sound effects. Like, the generic bullet sounds you hear in Call of Duty is nothing compared to the ambient sound design of, like, the zombies, the aesthetic of Raccoon City. Or, like, have you ever heard the fleshy noise whenever, like, Mr. X is running around in, like, his mutant forms and whatnot? That's a pretty pleasing sound, despite coming from a creepy creature and whatnot.
Pleasing sound.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the word.
It is. It sounds really good. Like it matches the monster
like
itself.
It can sound good, but it doesn't make it a pleasing.
It's a no. You play the game to that point and you hear it. It's so it makes it. It's
it might
such
be
a,
like aesthetically pleasing, but not pleasing to actually listen to.
I mean,
like, I get what you're
but
trying
by
to say,
itself,
but...
it's not pleasing to listen to. But if you look at it with the character, it fits so well that it's actually kind of satisfying. But yeah, I don't know why. Like Call of Duty just didn't. There's no reason for it to win sound design. Plus, the other thing too is like if you look at player preference, not even that many people are huge fans of Modern Warfare compared to some of the other ones. But
yeah,
I don't know. Okay, I guess back to the Sekiro thing. I was gonna say that Sky and I had a discussion about it, and he said that it feels like they chose Sekiro because it was the safest choice. Pick Death Stranding, and people are going to be all up in arms about it. Pick Smash Brothers, people are still going to be up in arms about it because some are going to say it won Best Fighting Game, and now it's Best Game, but it also counts as a party game, or it's not a story-based single-player game. Like that's the big thing. I think that they didn't choose it is because it's not a single-player story experience like the rest. So I feel like they went with Sekiro because Sekiro is really good, but it's not going to throw people up in arms about it. It's like in a different partial choice. So like. It didn't really feel like it was anybody's choice or anybody's vote. It was just they wanted to choose something that wouldn't get them in trouble. And that's why I feel like they partially did that because that's why Death Stranding won some of the minor awards and none of the major awards really. Because I mean, it won what? It won like Best Music, which
Best Score / Soundtrack.
And I want to. This is my personal thing. I think that one song that I think it was Grimes, the chick sang for it, was really really good. I don't think I care about any other music in that game. Honestly, it probably would have did better at audio design because the way the world sounds, it's just the casualness of it. I hear a lot of people say it's really nice because it's really relaxing. That should have been on the list over actual audio. Now,
well, we all know why Death Stranding didn't win Game of the Year. It's because us Americans can only fully appreciate first-person shooters.
Like
you know?
Sekiro.
Like Sekiro.
Well,
you know that Ninja Shuriken? It's basically a gun. Like
I did.
If you think about it, like not a single first-person shooter was for Game of the Year.
What? I mean, it must have been Russians, you know, hacking
Hunter. I'm
elections.
assuming Hunter was pretty happy about DMC winning an award.
Oh yeah, best action game, right?
Yeah.
Well, that seems.
That was
that seems fair.
That was its like only thing that was really nominated in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
Was it music too? I think.
Was it? All I remember.
I feel like it was in music.
I'm not 100% sure, but I do remember them winning for action.
It was score / soundtrack also.
I just remember it won.
I probably would have chosen that, but I haven't played Death Stranding, so I don't know.
Death Stranding has one.
Like.
To me, the problem is it's like every song that Hideo Kojima comes out that's orchestral or like lyrical or whatnot, they're really good, but they sound really samey. Like the song they sang for Death Stranding sounds a lot like when I don't think it was Stephanie Houston, the voice actor of Quiet, who sang Sins of the Father. I think it was somebody else. But that song sounds a lot like the one they did for Death Stranding, and even then, I could make some comparisons to Snake Eater to those two songs. They don't sound exactly the same. Snake Eater's probably more different than the rest of them, but I can still make some similar musical comparisons. But I don't know. I just their music's great. It's just every song sounds the same. Whereas like, I feel like some stuff did better. Like DMC probably wasn't the best choice because DMC has really good music, but I can say that like a lot of it's pretty samey. Like. You could probably hear another song and mistake it for like Devil Trigger. But, I mean, I'll be fair, that was the best song in DMC 5.
I mean...
And I'm not even a huge fan of the song itself. I mean, like, I'm not even a big fan of DMC.
Silver Bullet was good. It was basically just a remix of Devil Trigger, so...
True.
It was pretty neat that Disco Elysium won like 3 different awards.
Yeah, I heard about Disco Elysium. I didn't know like nothing about it, but I was generally surprised.
I had no experience.
Didn't it actually beat Death Stranding for an award?
I think so. Like it won best indie game,
which was pretty cool.
I think it beat it in best narrative. Best role-playing game, best indie game, and best narrative.
It beat like what? Outer Worlds and some other stuff for role-playing game?
Outer Worlds got snubbed for everything.
Okay, I'll say this. Death Stranding and Outer Worlds, in my opinion, shouldn't have been at the award show at all. I feel like a game should have to go a certain amount of time before it can be in the awards.
Well, do you mean like they could...
I feel like they could have qualified for next year.
But then put the time period for it for like a previous time.
See, but then the problem is, like, if they were nominated for the 2020 Game Awards, then you'd have the same complaint that you did about like Sekiro, how it's just too far back for it to like really be relevant.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if they're still going to do that anyway, so like, yeah, that's a problem. But like, they're not going to address and fix that issue anyway, so you might as well.
They should just do this in like February.
But also don't forget that
honestly, why don't they just do it January 1st every year? You know?
I mean, I'll say this: if a game is that good, like Sekiro or Outer Worlds or Death Stranding, if it's that good, it's going to have an impact until the beginning of next year. Like Smash Brothers came out in 2018, but it was still a really, really high requested and a very like good successful game for 2019. So I feel like those games, if they were really worth it, like Outer Worlds, if it kept getting like DLC,
yeah, they said they were planning on. They could have some DLC, and it could be like New Vegas, where
like release it in like periodic timetables. The people might still be talking about that game in 2020, warranting it getting an award that year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying a game has to be out for like 6 months before it can be on an award ceremony.
Personally, I think a game should be out for at least 3 years before it can be nominated for Game of the Year.
I feel like a game just has to be out for at least three to 4 months, in my opinion. I originally was thinking 6 months, like it had to be at least half the year, but then I thought about it. There's going to be too many games that came out at the second half of 2019 that are going to be in the 2020 awards.
Yeah, that's going to be like 2019 Game of the Year. Half of those came out in 2018.
Yeah, which is a problem.
I would say
so
like 2 or 3 is a reasonable issue.
I just think they should postpone this to like February or something, so they can actually be about the year.
I would say 2. I would have said December. 2, but didn't Death Stranding technically come out for like 2 before the Game Awards? It or Outer Worlds, those two I feel like came out not long ago.
Outer Worlds was the 25th.
October, wasn't it?
The 25th of what, November?
October.
Oh, October. So
and then Death Stranding was November.
So technically,
that was like November.
Outer Worlds wasn't really even out for a full 2 months, I don't think. Just under it.
Especially considering when they actually like nominated.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, it hadn't been like when they nominated it before it was even out for a full month, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah. So I was like, how can you like rate a game like that, give it an award when it hasn't been out for a full month? Most people probably haven't even played it yet.
Yeah, it seemed it was mostly like on the pedigree of the developers or something.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I feel like most of their games they just choose on if it's a big name developer or they have some ties to it. Like, I'm not saying everything Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just think the whole system's rigged.
Like Death Stranding, I felt like was going to win so many awards because Jeff Keighley is not only friends with Kojima, he's in Death Stranding as a character.
Mm-hmm.
And Kojima is part of the board of people who like make suggestions, like the suggestion board of what games you should vote for each category. I don't know how he's allowed to do that. How is he allowed to be like suggest awards for games that he's in?
He just whispered Death Stranding in everyone's ears, and they were like, "Nah, fam."
Also, was that Jeff Keighley who came up for the first award for Death Stranding when he was with the blonde guy wearing the like clothes for Death Stranding?
I think so.
I think it was, and then he left, and that was during the pre-show, and then he put his tuxedo on and came back out for the main show. Also, why do they have to do the whole like time thing with the pre-show? Like we have to do all these minor announcements and minor awards right before the 20-minute mark, and then the real show starts. Because to be fair,
there was like some. It seemed like there was some decent stuff at the beginning, like some announcements.
I'll say this: there was
Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, so I don't give a shit.
Hunter, it's not a Nintendo Direct. You sound like all those people that were like, we didn't get any good Nintendo announcements. I'll say this.
I don't really care.
I'll say this: Nintendo didn't have to do anything like announce a Smash character at the end of it, like they did last year, because that was a one-time thing. Like it fit for that time. But there's people expecting it to be like a Smash Direct where they announce like Bayo 3 and stuff. It's like. They don't have any obligation to do that. Yeah. All I'm saying is they showed like nothing. All they showed was very useless stuff. Like first announcement of the entire thing was just DLC for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which is
Xbox was pretty important, I would say.
Well, yeah, but that's not Nintendo. I'm talking about specifically Nintendo.
I'm just talking announcements in general.
Well, yeah, announcements in general. Like, yeah, that's like the thing, but like I've heard nothing so far but complaints that either looks like a fridge or the name is stupid. Like it's confusing. Like.
I heard
how are
desktop computer, not fridge, but I kind of can see that now.
like here's the thing, like now old people or moms, dads, grandparents, when they go to buy a kid an Xbox, they're probably going to accidentally buy them the Xbox One X instead of an Xbox Series X.
Well, I don't think it's going to be called the Series X. I think that's going to be, like, there's going to be, like, 3 different consoles, or at least 2, and they're going to have their own names.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's the name because they already used Project Scarlet as its project name, which made no sense. Why'd they call it Project Scarlet?
Well, that's like Project Scorpio was, and this is going to be, like, that's what it'll actually be called, but it's going to be a series of 3 consoles. So it'll still be called Series X officially. That's not a prototype name, but the individual consoles themselves will also have names.
That sounds even worse.
Just Xbox One, 2.
I would have just had them call it like Xbox Scarlet, and it was just an Xbox, but it was red. Because like they made it sound like that the Scarlet.
The color is green though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They made it sound like that the new Xbox was going to go from the green aesthetic to red.
It wasn't like the GameCube Project Dolphin.
Yes.
So where's the relation there?
No, not everything has to have relation, but they made it.
So why does it matter?
I know.
Project Scarlet.
I'm just saying the way they announced it made it. Yeah, that's it. I'm just saying the way they announced it and talked about Project Scarlet made it emphasize and make it sound like it was actually going in the direction of being a red-looking console. So I'm not saying it has to have emphasis. It's just the way they made it sound. Like it's like as if this PlayStation 4 had
what if it glows red like at night?
Well,
it has like little lights on the bottom that just glow red.
Some consoles do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure some Xboxes already do that. Like the whatever that DJ group was for the Xbox One S or Xbox One X or whatever it is, they had a custom one you could win in a contest that had lights and stuff, and when you're playing music, it would actually do like little wire like reverberations during the music and whatnot. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's just like the same thing. It just glows colors. Not that it's important to the conversation.
Okay, so what were the other awards? I know there was mobile game, which was Call of Duty.
It was
mobile.
just okay. We can go through them.
Oh wait,
let's just go through them one.
Since we were talking about announcements, real quick, I want to say I felt like there was not many good announcements, and Nintendo showed off some stuff, but I feel like they didn't need to do a big Smash like direct or anything like that during the Game Awards, but they need to show off at least something important. They showed off all like new games that are minor like indie game crap, and then like DLC for existing games. The most, in my opinion, the biggest thing they showed off, not kind of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer, because that's cool, but it showed nothing new. It was all just emphasizing on Cloud. Literally, you could sum up the whole trailer with the one line by Tifa where she goes, "I'm really, really glad you're back, Cloud." And that's it. The only thing I felt like they showed off that was anywhere near as cool was Wolf Among Us 2, and I'm not even a big fan of Telltale games. I'm just a fan of Wolf Among Us.
Okay, I feel like I was the only person who was super excited by Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
I was kind of when I saw all of the crap from Magic: The Gathering, that turned me off, and then I saw that terrible D&D trailer with the weird 3D that follows their hands.
The trailer was stupid, but they should have just said new Dark Alliance game. Because they're bringing back Baldur's Gate 3, they're going to be doing that, and it's by this terrific studio that's going to make it perfect.
It sounds like it sounds cool.
High expectations.
Like it sounds cool, but I've seen PS1 trailers better than that one.
Yeah, I know. It's just
why do they have the camera do that?
The trailer quality doesn't equate to the game being bad.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying the trailer looks so bad I couldn't do anything but laugh.
Yeah, I just like the announcement itself.
And I'm pretty sure it was the D&D guy who came up, but he was the one with like the weird ass bent, broken like beak nose, and I just could not stop laughing how fucked up his nose was.
I think there was some other D&D thing there.
The one magic like Asian guy who came up who was super excited to talk about it and everything when he was like, "This is my favorite character." I was talking to this guy, I was like, "Dude, I love this guy because he's so happy to be here," and then Jeff just looks like he's bored as hell. He's just like, "I don't care about Magic: The Gathering." He probably knew that we were gonna have to sit through like 4 hours of repetitive come play Magic: The Gathering cards right after the Game Awards.
Oh, speaking of Nintendo and announcements, is there any, like this is a bit off topic, but is there any direct planned, like, soonish?
To
like just a Nintendo Direct, like is there anything?
They don't usually tell us until a little bit before they think of it themselves. But I did talk to Scotty and say that what they should do is instead of doing those mini directs and indie directs, keep doing the indie directs because majority of people don't watch them, so who cares? And keep them out of regular directs. But the minis that they do, where they basically keep you up with games being made, like let's say they make a
Metroid Prime 4. That's what I want.
like those. I said, why don't they just incorporate the minis into the regular directs because nobody watches the minis. They want to see announcements. So if you put them in the regular directs, they'll happen more frequently, and people will have to be forced to sit through and see the development because they're not going to watch the minis to see if the game they want to be in there. They're just going to wait for it to be announced. So
honestly, that's like the one announcement I wanted at the Game Awards was just something about that. But
yeah,
that's me at any event that might have news about it.
But then I told him, I said, but the other thing too is that if they want to do that, they also need to fix the problem. Is I feel like they don't make Nintendo Directs frequently enough. Same with State of Play. Like State of Play, like I get it, they're having a rough patch right now trying to start it, but do some announcements and then do another one where you do some more talking about some of these games and development and whatnot, and keep doing them periodically. Don't do them like once every 4 months, because then you announce like you either have one that's really good after 4 months and then one that's crap, or you have a couple of good ones, but like it's an up and down sinking like path where they just can't get it consistently flowing as a good format. So
okay. Well, let's go through these awards.
Yeah,
okay. I think we did enough on Game of the Year. You think?
Maybe. I don't know. I think.
I mean, I don't remember what other games were nominated for it.
I think we didn't mention Control, but like none of us knows pretty much anything about Control.
Scotty and I talked about that. What is this Control? Like, I didn't see like any advertising. You know, people are saying it's like a pretty aesthetic game. It's a pretty good game. It's an award-winning game. Like, I don't know what it is.
Like a lot of people are talking about it because it's from the makers of Max Payne, Alan Wake, and
I did.
Break.
I'm pretty sure I saw something that Hideo Kojima's like a reference in it. Like he's a character in it. And then I was like, that's the only thing I know. Did anybody? If anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't see any advertising for the game.
I definitely saw some.
Never heard of it.
Xbox was focusing a lot on it, I think.
But yeah, as somebody who doesn't have a modern Xbox, would I have seen it anywhere else?
I think so.
Plus, it's not even console exclusive. I didn't see it anywhere on TV, which is okay because you don't see them that much. Only thing I saw relating to it on my PS4 was the game itself on the store, and that was it.
I think it might have been like an Epic exclusive on PC, maybe.
Yeah, but so like even stuff like Shenmue and whatnot, I've seen that more than I did Control. And Shenmue was Epic exclusive, wasn't it, for a good while?
Maybe.
They still did announcements for it and whatnot on PlayStation and everything else. Hell, I even saw announcements for it on TV.
I remember a lot of Control stuff like at the past couple E3s.
Well, anyway, we can just skip Game of the Year now.
Shut up.
Next category.
Shut up.
Can we go to next?
I gotta talk about Outer Worlds. Let me talk about Outer Worlds.
Can we talk about Golden Globe?
Can we talk about the
Outer
Emmys?
Worlds?
The Emmys?
Paul, we get it. You want to suck Obsidian's dick.
No, I'm gonna complain.
I agree with Scotty on Outer Worlds. I haven't played it yet, but I feel like from what I know of from hearing of it, it really rides its like it could be a really good game, but its big thing that people make noteworthy of it is that it's riding on the tails of it rides on the tails of being from the developers of other games like New Vegas and whatnot.
It's weird because people talk about that a lot, and I think it's very. I think it harms the experience going from Fallout New Vegas to it, because I really don't like a lot of its features, like core mechanical features that were a lot better in New Vegas, and you really have to think of it as a different game. Like in interviews, the developers say like you really have to think of it as its own game, not a new Fallout, because it's so much shorter. It seems like it's shorter, and it's more linear, and it just. It doesn't have the same feeling as New Vegas, and I don't know if the game actually is worse than New Vegas, or if I'm just looking for another New Vegas.
Well, when you say would it be worse than New Vegas, does that imply that you think New Vegas is a bad game in any way?
I think New Vegas is excellent with like a few things that they could work on. Like
I definitely think graphically and the core like gameplay, like how you fire weapons and stuff like that, I feel like they really could have fixed that in New Vegas, because I mean like stealth and shooting the guns and everything, and just pure basic movement feels like crud to me. But I felt like that and Fallout 3 were kind of meh.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. It's like they improve those things a lot in Outer Worlds, because it's like a completely new engine, but they lose like 70% of the stuff that made New Vegas great. Like none of the weapons feel special. They just no pun intended.
Special. Get the bobbleheads out.
Fallout.
But they just feel so like useless. Like it was the big difference between Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas. Like Fallout New Vegas, all of the guns have actual value. Like a laser RCW is going to cost like 600 caps to sell it to a vendor. When in Fallout 4, like everything is just a few caps, because it's hard to balance.
Since I played Fallout 4 recently, I had some complaints with it. Like one of the things I bring it up is the weapons. I hate how the majority of weapons I tend to find in the game are just variations of the basic pipe weapons. And it's like, I feel like with with New Vegas, yeah, there's a lot of unique weapons, and I will say some feel kind of similar. Like that gun, from New Vegas, where you get what is it, Cliff Briscoe's dinosaur?
I think so, yeah.
That gun's really cool in design and whatnot, but it feels very similar to just the other guns of the ammo type. Like aesthetically, it looks different, but function, it feels the same. But that's still better than getting 90 variations of the pipe pistol, where it's like pipe pistol with a stock, so now it's a pipe rifle, or pipe pistol with a bayonet on the end. Like it's the same gun. It's just, instead of having to go and use the gunsmith function to make one yourself, you can just find random ones until you get the ideal one for yourself. And then the unique weapons are far and in between. Like, I can't even tell you, I probably got a total of 10 unique weapons in Fallout 4, whereas I could get my whole entire weapon armory for my character in New Vegas be all unique weapons.
Well, I still like Fallout 4's version. It definitely had some less unique weapons, but I did like how you could craft the different
I did like that too, because one of the weapons in it, like the silenced pistol you get from the Resistance, the Impactor or something like that. I don't remember what it's called.
Something like that.
I loved using that gun, because not only did I have to not craft a silencer for it, but they gave you periodic upgrades. And it was, in my opinion, despite being a really low damage output, it was severely overpowered for the fact that you could just stealth kill with it.
Yeah.
But
and a really good thing about those games that I've noticed is all of the different guns have different ammo types, and in Outer Worlds there are literally 3 different ammo types for all the weapons. And in Fallout, it's kind of like in Doom, how once you finish using your ammo for one weapon, you have to switch to another. So it makes it valuable using the ammo, and it makes you switch between weapons a lot. When basically in Outer Worlds, when you get a new weapon, it just replaces a previous one.
Right.
You only need 3 weapons at a time, while in something like New Vegas, you have all of these different unique weapons, like a Tesla rifle and whatever, and you can keep a lot of them at your home settlement, whatever, and then just take a few out with you and spend all the ammo for that one, then bring it back.
So the guns in Outer Worlds is like the equivalent of getting the super shotgun and replacing the regular shotgun in Doom. It's the same gun. It's just a better weapon, but it's going to replace the one you just had at the same time.
They replace the same function. You will have a mid-range weapon, a long-range weapon, and maybe a short-range weapon, and just whichever one does the most damage. You'll switch out a pistol for a shotgun, and you won't want to use the previous one, because there are just 3 ammo types: the light weapons, heavy weapons, and energy weapons.
I played Fallout 76 once.
Yeah, Hunter bought that game for
$60.
Full price.
He pre-ordered it.
He pre-ordered 76.
Distributed the beta codes that I didn't even get to play.
Yeah, he gave us the beta codes, and I sat there and I was like, "This is garbage."
Yeah.
Paul was a
bit of fun exploring the world.
The world's nice.
It was constantly ruined by all the respawning enemies, because it was always online.
The world to me is what Fallout 4's map should have been.
Well,
in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Everybody's saying this is such a low effort project. It's just for money. It's all of this garbage. When the developers actually, they have a lot of really good ones. These ones worked on Fallout 3 and whatnot. They're actually good at this. They worked on Oblivion and whatnot, and they've spent a lot of time on this world. But it's just, there are so many parts of it that detract from that.
The world design I thought was good, but then it was the other parts that just kind of...
The world design was nice.
It just performs absolutely terribly.
The world was nice. The missions were okay-ish. People can say you didn't need NPCs, but at the same time, just going to terminals that somehow dispatch you missions or robots.
I kind of would have liked NPCs rather than
even if the NPCs are just models that just blink and talk and you can't interact with them in any other way, fight them or shoot them or anything, I would have taken that, because at least it would have feel like they had a little more personality. Yeah. But I will say this hot take, and anybody can trash me if they want, but I feel like Elder Scrolls Online still did better than 76. And I've played Elder Scrolls Online.
I think that team knew more about what an MMO is.
That team knew a lot more about MMOs, and the game's still functioning now, and they're still producing content for it, and people are still eating it up.
Because Bethesda Game Studios, they made that as their first online thing, and it just was a weird mishmash between Fallout 4 and...
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely say Elder Scrolls Online was it was a weird combination of trying to implore some of the basic elements of Skyrim, but then try to implore the rest from actual MMOs, different systems, farming and cooking and having jobs and whatnot. It was a very weird transition, but they did it well enough that like it wasn't boring.
Yeah, I'd say it was kind of. I'd say that Fallout 76 was a lot more ambitious. So like Elder Scrolls Online is probably more of a cohesive experience. Like none of the parts are super great, but none of the parts are absolutely terrible. While in Fallout 76, like the people actually really worked hard to make this an interesting world. So there are some really good parts about it, but there are really terrible parts. Like they, instead of going for an MMO or like an online battle royale or something, they made pretty much their whole new genre. Like this type of game hadn't existed before.
They pulled a Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I love how Hideo Kojima says like he makes his own genre for each game, but it's just some BS title he puts over games. And he's even admitted it. Like there's no real reason for these. I just like to put these over the names of games.
Was there one on Death Stranding?
Yes, it was like something related to like bringing people together. I don't remember what the actual thing. It was like something bringing people together. Blah blah blah. It's kind of like how Metal Gear Solid is like what TGS.
Yeah. It was tactical espionage action.
TES. Yeah.
And then Peace Walker and Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain were tactical espionage operations.
Revengeance didn't have one, did it? I don't think it did.
No, I don't think so.
Ninja Killing Machine, NKM.
Alright, we've gotten a bit off topic.
Yeah, let's get back to.
As long as people hear us discuss stuff we're interested in, I don't think they mind.
I mean, we'll actually go.
Okay, Game Awards multiplayer game. They had Tetris 99, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Borderlands 3, and Tom Clancy's The Division.
Which one won that?
Apex Legends.
Yes. Oh yeah. I was happy for that, but I will say I wouldn't have minded if some of the other ones had won. Not Borderlands 3. I think Borderlands 3, 2, and 1. I played them a bit. I don't hate them, but I will say this. I think the world isn't bad. I think the comedy's kind of doo-doo. Like, it's still, like, early 2000s comedy trapped in these games.
Yeah.
And then, just the gameplay itself is so corely boring, repetitive, and the amount of guns and stuff you put in it doesn't make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Borderlands 3 now is all the characters either, like, non-binary, trans. Like, they give these characters these, like, modern-day gender stereotype roles, and, like, they try to fight against that. Like, they have this one character, the Silent Assassin Zero. He's in love with this non-binary person who he thought was a girl, but that person's searching for their gender and whatnot. And so that, I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything.
They go super far with this stuff, and it's
guys,
really weird.
Guys,
like,
don't get the podcast demonetized.
We're not in
Outer Worlds.
We're not even monetized.
Okay,
that's fair enough. I guess we can all call them fags.
I'm not exaggerating here. Every single woman in Outer Worlds is a lesbian. Like, there are 3 main characters that are female that you meet at the beginning.
So you're saying if I want to play the game properly, I should play as a woman?
That sounds pretty
Probably. Odd. But, like, you start out, and, like, the first 3 people you meet, like, 2 of them are your companions, and, like, and there's this captain at the beginning of Town of Edgewater, and all of them have these, like, short haircuts, and they're all masculine. And it's really interesting, because it seems like a lot of these, a lot of these media that makes women into, like, the action heroes and whatnot, they always have to be lesbian, so it's almost like they're turning them into men.
Yeah,
because they take masculine characters, so they have to
they
can't.
Strong, independent women who don't need no men.
It seems like game developers can't make, like, game developers and whatnot seem like this. Why do women have to be the sexy damsel in distress stereotype? Why can't we make them like a sexy hot badass? Okay, you can do that, but they don't have to be lesbian. They don't have to buff. You can make a chick who's like.
This is why we need Metroid Prime 4.
Okay, so I'll say this. Like, Metroid's an example. Samus is the heroine, and when she's not in her jumpsuit, she's just in her zero suit.
They don't shove in your face that she's a woman.
Yeah, they don't shove it in your face. She doesn't look lesbian, but they don't go the route of it has to look like a realistic woman. People nowadays think women have to look realistic, like. Either chubby, chunky, buff like a dude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's like a bird alien, so I guess they can make her however they want.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. She still follows the aesthetic of she's good looking, but she's still a hero, which America and other countries don't seem to understand that. They think that if we make your character look like an attractive video game character and the heroine, it's offensive. It's like it doesn't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not a bad thing if guys like looking at a female character looks attractive, but. Then when guys don't like what the unattractive ones you put in the games are, then it's a problem. It's like it's not our fault that guys have preferences for women, and the majority probably have a certain opinion.
It's your
fault
then you don't. For your own opinions.
Women have the choice too. when they play a video game, we always have strong buff guys, unless it's a custom game where you can make your own fat guy. Chicks never care about the fat guys in the video games.
Well, that's what I was saying about the lesbians. Like, they always make the women into basically... They basically turn them into men in these modern movies, but like if you look towards like the original,
like the new Terminator movie,
yeah,
they all feel like dudes in that movie.
Yeah, and if you look at like the original like really good female characters like Princess Leia, like she doesn't whip out a lightsaber and kill people, but she's a strong character. Like she resists the Empire.
She basically did that in the last movie she was in when she was like forced right to the ship.
Okay, I really did like that part.
That part was funny.
Yeah.
That part was funny, but
like I honestly really wish she would have died at that part.
She
Yeah.
did. She died after the movie. She literally died.
Yeah, I know. Like that's what I meant. Like I knew she was dead going into the movie, so I knew her actor was dead going in the movie. So I'm like, why didn't they just kill her there?
Yeah, why couldn't they like do? I mean, I'll say
I would have been
this.
satisfied with.
I'll
the
say this.
death
I don't
there,
think Han Solo's
but-
death was that great, but I mean that was still a better way writing it off than Princess Leia's. Like Han was like Han was legit just like I want to.
She's in the third movie, isn't she? Like Princess Leia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they CGI'd her. Like, didn't you see that? Was it? I think they're making a movie where they're CGIing James Dean. And like everybody's mad about it because it's like you can't just let these people die. Like this guy died. He was like what? He was in his 40s when he died, I think.
Yeah, something like.
And then people like he literally lived to be 40, and even now they're CGIing a guy who didn't even live half his entire life.
Well, actors are actually working now into their contracts. Like you can't or can use like my image CGI after I die.
Because I know they like CGI'd Leia into the end of Rogue.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Rogue One.
It
That
was
was
so
okay
bad.
because it lasted like five seconds.
Yeah, and then there was.
But those 5 seconds you can
But then,
see
like,
some
this
pretty
one's
big
gonna
problems.
be a whole ass movie with the CGI though.
They should-
Like,
what
how
is
do you
it-
think that's gonna look?
Why didn't they kill her off?
I have no. Okay, we're just gonna get off of that movie because
Still,
Yeah,
though,
this-
but
that's
still,
sort
though,
of off
Han
topic.
Solo's was a lot better though. Like
Star Wars bad. Okay.
albeit Han Solo's a cool character, I'm still okay that they killed him off in the way they did. Because
Yeah.
I don't
Also,
know how you guys feel
Leia
about
should've died.
what was Kylo Ren's voice actor?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. I don't know how you guys feel about him, but I don't think he's a bad.
Swallow.
I don't think he's a bad actor, but I just can't get behind some of his live action roles when he's acting because he seems like a. His facial structure just doesn't seem to work for his acting. He always looks kind of goofy. He legit looks like the Android version of Keanu Reeves if Keanu Reeves was iOS.
Okay. Well, I think we can agree Apex Legends pretty good choice from
Best
multiplayer.
multiplayer.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of Game Awards, Keanu Reeves. Why is it that like?
Breathtaking.
Why is it that literally nobody at the Game Awards was as nearly as hype as when Keanu Reeves came out for Cyberpunk? Yeah, we had Reggie and
Because he's
we had
getting
Reggie
paid
and
for
stuff, but like
Cyberpunk.
Reggie still didn't bring in as much hype as Keanu Reeves did for some reason.
Because he's
Yeah.
getting paid a shit ton to be in Cyberpunk.
True. Also, fucking, I hated that they played music for Cyberpunk as one of the 3 opening acts or like acts.
I mean,
I was like, why?
I don't
It's
care.
not even out yet. They literally only had one thing about Cyberpunk. It was talking about the music, and then they played a song. And it was like, first off, the game's not out yet, so why are you giving such big representation to this
Hype it
game
up.
that's not out?
Hype it up.
Yeah, but the song sucked. Did you
But
hear the song?
Keanu, no, I didn't watch the video game awards.
The song was literally, they had a woman come out and pretend to sing it, but it was entirely just edited to sound electronic, like she was an electric woman. It was like, if any of you guys can find it, like find it and play it. Let's do it for a second. It sucks bad.
I know. It really seems like they're overhyping that game, especially considering.
And they
like,
even said it's not going to be that long of a game.
Yeah, and like it's CD Projekt Red has been working on The Witcher before that, so this is something completely different.
They
So.
probably do. They probably
Honestly, I wish Keanu wasn't in it because now like Reddit tards are just gonna worship the game no matter how good or bad.
I'm
it
pretty
is.
sure the moment they put Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk, that was like when it was fully time to bring Keanu back for everything. Because he's been in tons of stuff after that point. Actually, no. In the past few years, how he's been in so much stuff. I mean, we can exclude John Wick because that's his own movie and whatnot. But like, he's gonna be in SpongeBob. He was in Toy Story 4, Cyberpunk. He was in a lot of stuff.
Is
And I
Man
don't.
in SpongeBob? If you haven't said that already.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in. He's going to SpongeBob.
Sponge out of water.
And the worst part is he seems like he's not even going to be an important character.
He's gonna be like a bush.
Is it Grimes performing for AEM?
I think so. Yes, it is. They literally had her come on stage and pretend to sing that first part. It's the same song all the way through. Grimes, wait, did you say it was Grimes that was singing that song?
Yeah.
Okay, then the other one was like, what, Castle, I think, or whatever it is?
I could probably get behind that song.
Which one, this one?
Yeah.
I hate this one. Like, the other music they showed off in that trailer was so much better, because it was still electronic pop, but then they also had, like, the ragtag, like, old school jam, like rap jam they had also, and that was really good. But this right here is like, it's like the most basic, generic, like futuristic pop music you could give. And it sounds really anime aesthetic despite it being for Cyberpunk. It didn't stack well compared to any of the other ones, especially the orchestral at the end. And you know, I'll say this, Death Stranding and Control songs meshed together so well that it didn't sound like any two different songs. It sounded like the same song. Then Smash Bros. Came in and sounded like...
yeah, I thought it was the same song throughout the whole thing before Smash Bros. Came out.
Smash Bros. Legit sounded the same it did it sounded okay, but last year's was way better because they did the whole song and it sounded way more orchestral. Mm-hmm. And then the moment they got to Control wasn't the one I was thinking of at the second one. The Control one was when they got the Polish guy or whatever to come in and start singing his part.
Oh yeah, a couple guys come
That was pretty good. But then the Resident Evil part like blew me away. I was like, oh my god. Like, I don't know, I'm assuming Hunter didn't hear it, but
I haven't watched anything.
Oh, we gotta play that Resident Evil part for Hunter. That part is so insane. It did not associate me with Resident Evil.
Home, I guess, when I get home.
Like, it was a really good song, but was that song even in Resident Evil 2? Because I haven't played the remake, but it did not sound like something that I would associate with Resident Evil 2.
I played Resident Evil 2 remake.
Like, this guy was like, yeah. I can't remember exactly, but it was pretty funky for being from Resident Evil 2.
Well, yeah, cool. I'll go watch that when I get home.
Hunter, why are you even here if you weren't gonna watch it? You should have been watching.
I honestly don't care about watching it.
Watch some clips while we're talking about it, so you can talk about it.
I don't know where my phone's at.
You have a computer. You can't look it up.
I'm not connected to Wi-Fi. I don't feel like.
Oh well, I can look it up on my phone, but yeah.
Ready for ongoing game.
Sure. That's Apex skin, wasn't it? No, I'm kidding.
This one was Fortnite. It lost Apex, Destiny 2, Siege, and Final Fantasy 14.
Final Fantasy should have won it. It really should have.
I'm surprised Final Fantasy didn't win. Honestly.
Final Fantasy should have won because think about it. The game started off as utter garbage trash, and then they brought it back so well.
Yeah, and now it's even in Monster Hunter World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. I wish I could play it. It's such a really cool looking game, and it's really fun. But like,
it does seem pretty cool.
Of course, I'm not gonna ever pay for an MMO really with a paid subscription. I only played Elder Scrolls Online because once you buy it, you can play the base game for like what, $5. So that's fine. But if I had more money and I had a consistent way of playing it, I probably would play it at this point. It's pretty good. It's no WoW classic, but actually that's my bad. Not WoW classic. I mean RuneScape. I like RuneScape. No, I'm not.
School RuneScape.
I can't play WoW. I've never tried. It's just too much. Anyway, this isn't about WoW, it's about ongoing games.
The next category?
I kind of think that narrative could have been won by Outer Worlds. I thought they could have given it to it instead of Disco Elysium's third one.
What were the other ones? Disco Elysium went home with like, what, 4 awards?
3 of them at least.
Okay.
Death Stranding, Control, A Plague Tale, Innocence, Outer Worlds, and Disco Elysium. But Outer Worlds, I
literally haven't played any of those games, so I have no opinion on this one.
Well, the great thing about Outer Worlds is it takes like all of the quests and the world and all of the different characters and how they interact from New Vegas, and I think it does them even better than
Would you say the characters are better in New Vegas or Outer Worlds?
I kind of want to think yes, but almost if it wasn't hampered by the setting, I think the Fallout setting is way better for it.
In terms of like majority, do you think which game has the majority of better characters? Because I mean, you could say that like Outer Worlds has better like main characters or better other companions in Outer Worlds of any kind.
Yeah.
Okay, you could say like Boone from New Vegas is better than whatever a companion from Outer World is, but like in terms of just the majority of characters that you meet in the world, which one do you think has better characters?
Well, I think there are more like interesting like vendors and whatnot, maybe in New Vegas, but like I think Outer Worlds partially has the benefit that they can focus a lot on a character, like they can actually animate them to be a unique character.
Right.
But that's just a few of them, and it's brought down by like I said, how every woman is a lesbian in it.
Does do
followers
just
seem kind of generic?
Do followers in Outer Worlds have the same mechanic in New Vegas? We have like the point system where you can become friendly or not with them, and if you get friendly enough, you can unlock like a side quest that branches more into their backstory, and you can unlock like a perk if you do the quest and whatnot.
Not exactly. It has actually more like companion quests with them, but you don't like earn it exactly.
Does it just give it to you when you get the companion?
Yeah, pretty much. Like you can talk to them, you can organically go through the world, and they like notice something. But it focuses a lot. There are pretty big quest lines for them, and it has the same sort of like a tactics choices. I think even more so tactics choices.
Speaking of tactics, Gears of War tactics. What do you guys think about that? To me, it looked a lot like XCOM. It looked way too much like XCOM.
It didn't look enough like XCOM.
Okay, not in terms of like setting, in terms of the game.
Yeah, I know. I was focusing on the game. I think there was some other game recently that looks a lot like XCOM. But Gears Tactics looks like fine. It's pretty much like Halo Wars, I guess. It's a different game. I know, like it's a different genre, but
did any
in terms
speaking of games that seem too similar. So you saw how Sega announced like one game, Humankind. Did anybody else think that was just Civilization?
Oh, that one. Yeah. Like I heard him mention Civilization. Like he said like civilizations in a sentence, and I thought it was just Civilization. Yeah, I thought he was gonna cut. So I thought, a new Civilizations DLC. That'd be kind of neat, but.
From Sega. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, this is legit.
I don't know
legit Sega came out for 2 seconds to say, hey, we just copied Civilization.
Yeah, but
that's
it has the Sega logo slapped on. What if they have Sonic in it, though? That makes it tons better than Sonic 6 could ever hope to be.
Sonic was at the Game Awards. Did you see that Jeff...
No, I mean Sonic and Humankind.
I know, but this still involves Sonic.
I don't care about Sonic.
Sonic was... Jeff Keighley said that Sonic was going to be in some way at the Game Awards. And you know what it was?
What?
It was the whole Mirage thing for Apex, since they have the same voice actor. Why did he say Sonic was going to show up in some way at the Game Awards if it wasn't actually Sonic, it was his voice actor?
Well, I mean, that's the same as anyone saying, like, oh, this person's voice actor's in this game. I don't know.
They could have just not made the thing, and then people could have been like, whoa, the voice actor's here. Why they stated Sonic as if there was going to be some kind of Sonic reveal just to hype people up. Like, that's the whole thing of the Game Awards this year.
Sonic Forces 2!
They legit, I feel like they made the Game Awards this year so minimal and boring because they knew majority of people were just going to watch for the announcements, so they made the announcements ass, so you had to watch for the awards instead. I mean, another thing, I'm not a big fan of Jeff, but he pulled a Sakurai when Sakurai put Joker in Smash. Sakurai just wanted to put him in for his own personal preference because he liked it. Jeff only put Green Day in because he likes Green Day. Green Day hasn't been prevalent or relevant since they did that one song in the Simpsons movie.
See,
even then they haven't been around.
You just don't watch it like me. You just read an article the next day saying everything that happened.
Well, the other thing too is Green Day doesn't have that many good songs in my opinion. They only played the first song they played was okay in my opinion because that's the one everybody knows. And then the second one it was like okay, it was just a song and a reason for them to flick off and say motherfucker and that was it.
I personally preferred whatever that guy was at the Bethesda's E3 conference last year.
Todd Howard.
The guys for Rage 2 that said like better get ready to kill.
That guy.
That guy was like
talking about.
That guy has so much energy and he's pretty young. Like that's a pretty recent band, so it actually it didn't really make sense for a video game award show, but it was entertaining enough.
Speaking of Bethesda and whatnot, I have a few things I can say real quick, but
okay.
People said I talked to some people and they said I was gonna ask you guys. Did you think that the Game Awards was cringy, like overall, or did you think there was any cringy segments?
I didn't watch it.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Paul.
Then why do you say you guys?
Because I'm establishing it as in the people in the room, so anybody who was here could ask. But did you think any moments in the Game Awards were cringy, or did you think the overall thing itself was cringy?
Nothing that cringy. I thought it was a bit cringy when he was talking to Mirage.
I thought that was a little cringy, but the announcement was pretty cool. And did you see how they did the whole Mirage thing? Robert Atkin Downs, the voice actor for Sonic, was wearing like one of those suits. So as he was moving, it was live inputting that to the Mirage on screen. So when he was talking, he was talking to the actual voice actor.
It wasn't just pre-recorded?
No, it was he was doing it live. The guy Robert.
I don't know if I believe you.
He has pictures on his Twitter page, so you can see. But he basically did that, so that was cool in its core concept. But Muppets were okay, but like. There was like no real reason for it to specifically be the Muppets other than they just wanted to put the Muppets in.
Yeah, and I think they were there last year too.
No reason for Green Day. Green Day was kind of cringy.
I just skipped past that.
Ninja coming up and talking about being an esports gamer and all this stuff. And then like the week before he made that announcement how he was making fun of football kickers, and then he talked about how it's harder for him, and then they said, oh, it's so hard to do this, and then he's like, oh, bad analogy, dude. It's like, you literally chose, like, the most stupid person for that like, award.
Like, I like that esports are gaining more traction because I'm fat and I don't do actual physical sports.
But why they have?
But I do think that some people are like cringy about it.
Why'd they have to choose? What basketball player was it who did the award?
I don't know.
Some black man.
Yeah, it was
LeBron James.
No.
I know.
It was. I don't know why I actually blanked on his name because I actually know him and I've watched him in games before. But basically, he came up and did the awards. And I was like, that's cool and whatnot. But like, they chose basically the guy that like could do no harm or say anything offensive and like probably cared the least about esports.
Yeah, because there was a lot of more cringy stuff last year when they had a more focus on the esports players and that sort of thing.
I will say though, the one guy, was it Bag or whatever his name is, Bag or I don't know how to pronounce his name or anything, but
it's like Bagodu.
But the kid who won the first like official like Fortnite tournament or whatever it was, who won like millions. Honestly, despite what anybody, in my opinion of Fortnite and thinking it was really dumb that it was like there for anything. I mean, I was really happy that kid won because I mean that kid's he's not like a kid, but he's relatively young. He's probably the youngest one there. And he did such a big thing because, I mean, he won the tournament at Fortnite. And Fortnite was big at that time, so he was, like, one of the peak esports gamers at his time. So I think it was kind of fair that he won the award against people who just do pretty good. And, like, because everybody else with those esports have, like, played in some of those tournaments, but not all of them have won. And some of them, their biggest even crazy, like, tractions are just from playing normal games and, like, Twitch or whatnot. So I felt like this younger guy should have really got it, but...
So, if overall you guys were to give a rating on the Game Awards, kick or cringe?
Are you trying to skip to the end?
Maybe.
We got like... we can...
No, I'm just saying like kick or cringe Game Awards. Since we're talking about the Game Awards being cringy. Kick or cringe Game Awards 2019.
I sat for the full 4 hours and got nothing I liked out of it, so cringe.
I guess Keck, because I like some of the announcements. I skipped through a lot of the boring stuff. I probably would have enjoyed it still, even if I watched it live.
I couldn't skip it live, but I enjoyed it, but it's still cringe because the only reason I enjoyed it was because I was able to make fun of people. Like the developers who looked like they had fucked up noses, or how Jeff looked bored.
Wow.
Hey, when the Game Awards are that boring, you have to. You can't even tell me that it's not boring because did you see the meme going around where there's the one guy who literally was sleeping through the entirety of the game show, sitting in a seat like this, sleeping. Legit, that guy knew. The guy knew was like, I got invited here and it sucks.
Who was that girl that everyone loves? The Japanese one?
I just followed her the other day on Twitter. Let me find out.
You just called her?
I saw on the Bayonetta subreddit that they were calling her real life Bayonetta. So
it's because she works on Bayonetta.
She does?
Yeah,
I remember her working on the.
Let me go to my followers.
It was some Bethesda thing, like Bethesda thing.
It's always Bethesda with you, Paul.
It's Ikumi Nakamura. She's a creative director, art director for Tokyo Wire, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh yeah, she was in E3.
Okami, Bayonetta.
Yeah, Bethesda's E3.
Yeah, she was the one girl who was like.
Yeah, from the Evil Within director. Yeah, yes. it was that
people
studio.
made memes of her because like her hand motions made boss.
Did you see how she was getting ready to do the announcement for Control, and then she opened the card and she was holding it to grab the microphone and tipped it down so you could see that said Control. Yeah, you could see what was on the card before she announced it. It was funny. Like, I don't hold anything against her. I think she's pretty good, and I could tell that she had to put a lot in for me to understand what she said. Well, me as in, I'm sitting at home by myself watching it, but for the audience, she really put in a lot to make sure you could understand what she was saying. Speaking of people in attendance at the Game Awards, what is it, Roscoe Bot, or whatever it is, from Mega 64?
Oh.
He was there, and you see how he was sitting in a whole row by himself that was empty?
No.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
All right.
Find it real quick, but I don't know if it was because
it's because he didn't take a shower.
I'm not sure.
He cleared out the whole row.
I don't know if it was because he wasn't invited. He like got a ticket or what. I'm assuming it was like, what is it? That basically he was one of the people that wasn't affiliated with games or anything, even though he is with Mega 64, but he wasn't like a game developer or working on any of the studios or anything. And he just basically bought himself a ticket to go watch. And they were like, well, we can't have normal people sitting next to like the big game people.
It's either that or just like bought out the whole row for himself. I assume he probably has enough money to do that.
I don't know. I mean, it's just Roscoe, so I don't know how much he could actually do.
It's Rocco.
Rocco. I mean, my bad. My bad.
When you type in his name, the first thing that pops up is weight loss.
Yeah, let me find the picture if I can.
In the meantime,
Here.
what's the next category?
Here,
So basically,
as you can see in the picture there, he's sitting by himself. Yeah, my brightness isn't very good right now.
okay, so basically for narrative, we're okay with Disco Elysium, but I think Outer
I've
Worlds
never
could
heard
have
it.
got
I don't have any opinion on best narrative because I don't know any of the games.
Okay, I think you didn't like the performance one.
Oh!
What was what was the performance stuff?
There was Courtney Hope for Control, Ashley Birch, Outer
Oh,
Worlds.
yeah.
Norman Reedus, Death Stranding, Matthew Peretta, Control, Laura Bailey, Gears 5.
I didn't feel that either of the people from Death Stranding should have won because they're more accustomed to the roles of regular actors. They were gonna win because they were able to do both live action acting roles and voice acting roles, and people are gonna use that as basically a bias towards those two. Plus the fact they're actual celebrities. Like, I wanted a genuine. What are people associate video games with? Voice actors, not real actors, all half the time.
Well, this is performance. This
I know.
isn't voice acting.
I know, but video games performances are majority voice actors, and I felt it was more fair to use a genuine voice actor, somebody whose career is that, instead of somebody who I occasionally dabble in voice acting in video games.
But if they aren't as good,
Yeah, like if the performance is better. Like,
well, yeah, but
I'm not familiar with any of the characters.
Yeah, but
so I don't know
but
who
like
performed better.
Norman Reedus has so little to say in Death Stranding. And I'm glad he didn't win over Mads Mikkelsen, because Mads Mikkelsen did a lot better in Death Stranding, but I don't even think Mads Mikkelsen should have beaten out any of the other ones. Like, I don't even like Gears of War, and I still thought Laura Bailey did a better job with her character in it. And, I mean, Laura Bailey is a genuinely good voice actor. She doesn't even do just video games. She's worked in the industry of voice acting itself with anime, TV shows, and everything else for a long time. Longer than I'm pretty sure Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen have.
I don't know much about this category. Skip. Next.
next one was esports player, blah.
Don't care. Was it Ninja Fortnite?
No.
Ninja wasn't in it.
It was Kyle Gierthdorf.
Never fucking heard of him. Don't care.
It's Sukoblet.
Content creator.
Don't care. It's not me and it's not you. So
Wayne
we don't
Gretzky.
Do you know what these content creators even are?
People who make content.
Like, I don't see any YouTubers, I don't think. No, I don't know. I think they're like Twitch streamers,
No, probably Twitch streamers.
Oh, sports/racing game.
Don't really
Crash
care.
Tag Team Racing.
Yeah, it was Crash Team Racing. That was up against like actual sports stuff, FIFA, Dirt Rally, like.
FIFA's like the same every year, so.
Score/soundtrack. Because we had Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, Cadence of Hyrule, Sayonara Wild Hearts, and Death Stranding 1.
My personal choice would have been Devil May Cry 5.
That would make sense.
Death Stranding and Sayonara Wild Hearts, like I said before, Death Stranding is one good song and that's it. Sayonara Wild Hearts, I have no idea. And then I would have been equal on the other ones because
I heard Cadence was pretty good.
I played through all of Cadence with Sky. We played through the whole game multiplayer, and it's really good. It's all renditions of the original Zelda music, with its twist from the Crypt of the Necrodancer and whatnot. And it's really good. And the regular Crypt of the Necrodancer is really good too. I don't know if I'd say it's better than DMC or Kingdom Hearts, but I was about tied on Kingdom Hearts and DMC, and I'm not even a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I just think the music was genuinely pretty good.
I do like Kingdom Hearts 3 music. I have like a personal soft spot for Simple and Clean, or whatever it was called.
Right.
Like, special place in my heart because of Kingdom Hearts recoded for Nintendo DS.
No?
Well, I think some people might be biased towards Devil May Cry 5 for the soundtrack just because, like, in the marketing and everything, they focus so much on the songs. Well, like the song.
Yeah, to be fair, does anybody really care about that much music besides Devil Trigger? And it's remixes.
I still like jam out like every day going to college. I jammed out to like all the Devil May Cry soundtracks like in
I think
Spotify playlist.
I think DMC 1 through 3 have more iconic songs than just like 1, but I feel like DMC 5 only really has Devil Trigger. And
I wouldn't say 1 through 3. I would say 1 and 3 because 2 just doesn't fucking exist.
you say that, but 2's like pretty important.
I didn't like 2.
Not many people did like 2.
Dante had like 3 3 lines the entire.
Isn't DMC 2 where they like give him like a different haircut?
He was super edgy, like he was edgelord, McEdgelord.
Wasn't it like they gave him like a slightly more shaggy looking haircut?
He had like longer hair. He had like I did like his appearance kind of like the jacket was kind of cool, but like he was very emo. Dark, didn't say.
Also,
what
did you think about the fact that the guy at the end was like DMC's back? Did you hear about that when
no.
The guy who worked on the game after getting the award said DMC's back, and I was like,
I was just repeating what he said at E3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, I'm so glad he said that, but like at the same time, When are you gonna release anything else for DMC again?
Yeah.
They should have announced something when he said that. Like,
Honestly,
Devil May Cry
it was an
6.
okay.
Honestly,
finale.
what about DMC, like the Devil May Cry, the bad one, 2?
If they improved, if it was genuinely a good game, then maybe.
I think when DMC Definitive Edition and Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition both came out, I think they were gonna like do whichever one sold more. Like they're gonna continue that series, and I think 4 performed better. So
I heard
maybe
4
5.
is a pretty big fan. I haven't beaten 3 yet, but I hear 4 is a really big fan favorite.
I only own the first one, and I haven't played very much of it. I can't beat the
If
first.
you had a good
boss.
computer, I could give you the HD collection, but
Well, Scotty had I gave Scotty my DMC one, but then he bought the entire collection on 360. So then he gave mine back, and then I sat there and realized I could have gotten DMC 1 through 4 for like $20 on sale on my PlayStation 4. But
oh yeah, I have your DMC 1 on PlayStation 2 if you want it back.
I already got one. It's right there.
Do you want your other copy that I took?
No, you can keep that one. It's mine. I don't need 2 copies of the same game. You can have one for collector's purposes.
What if you combine them together and you get DMC 2?
But then, what would but then I need another one to combine to make DMC 3.
I'm sure you can find one. We gotta go back to that one place in Columbus.
I'm pretty sure they didn't have DMC there.
They had Definitive Edition.
Let's go back there.
Yeah,
sometime.
after this, we're gonna go to both of the plates, right? Because the other plate is just slightly more
I forgot there was
closer
2
to
of
the
them.
center of Columbus. Like it's still way north of
Okay,
Columbus.
but Levi's not driving.
You
Well,
can drive
I know,
that,
like-
us 3.
I mean, you're just driving us like in an hour or so. Like
Didn't I tell you I can only leave my house once per day?
Isn't this the second
yeah,
time?
this is
the second time.
this isn't your
Alright,
house.
I can only transport myself to another location one time per day.
You went from Delaware. You went from Delaware to your house.
But
to
that
back
wasn't
here.
me. That was my grandma. She had helped carrying a table for my aunt's house.
So you
So
still
that
left.
doesn't even count. So
So going here is going here. That's
Yeah,
my daily allowance for today.
Yeah, but
I gotta
Hunter,
go
if you
home
don't go
after
home
this.
first, this still counts as one trip.
it does.
Yeah,
It counts,
sorry.
man. It counts.
Just stay. Just stay
I
the
just
night.
can't
We'll buy
do
you
it,
jerky.
know? Like
Just stay the night tonight, and we'll go tomorrow.
I'm just running out of fuel. You know,
Come on,
I got Code Vein to beat.
come on, man.
You should have brought it.
I want to go play it, trade it in Columbus.
We can go to the one that was closer.
We can vlog.
I don't like driving to Mansfield in the dark. I don't want to drive to Columbus.
We need some
in the dark.
content for Colton's.
Then
new
do you want to
channel.
go to the one by?
We can do it.
Do you
We
want
can
to
do
go?
it some other time.
Do you want to go to the one by
No.
the burger place?
No.
We'll stop.
Anyway,
there.
what's the next category?
Okay.
How are we supposed to do reviews and stuff if we don't have a way to go back to these games? I had to go to
Look,
GameStop
we'll
today.
go there, just not tonight.
Okay, so officially we're going tomorrow, and let's
whoa,
let's just do fighting games.
Hunter,
I'm going to Zoolites tomorrow, so I can't.
Fighting game.
Are we going to?
Jump
No.
Force, Samurai Showdown,
My dad gets it through CYT.
Mortal Kombat 11, Dead or Alive 6,
Smash Bros.
and Smash Bros. The Victor.
Honestly, I think Jump Force should have won. After playing it for like 5 minutes, I
You're
think
losing.
should have won.
Can you shut your dirty mouth?
Superior game.
But you lost though.
That's how I know it was so good. Like, you know, I got a feel for the
Smash.
mechanics.
Smash, I think should have won. 'Cause
I don't-
I think overall it was the better
I do
game.
agree with Smash winning.
But I will say, if you think about it in certain aspects, I feel like Smash is its own thing. Well, I feel like the award could have equally have gone to just an actual like.
yeah, I guess it
normal-
is like a non-traditional.
Yeah, like I
fighting
feel like
game.
I feel like kind of like how they the game of the year usually goes to single player story based games. The fighting game one feels like it should always go to a traditional one.
Yeah.
Which, I'll be fair, not many of the traditional ones were that great this year. Like
Then like Smash wouldn't really have its own
Mortal
category. so.
Kombat 11 was like all right, but it wasn't like great.
I honestly don't even know why Dead or Alive 6 was in
Dead
it,
or
'cause I
Alive-
never hear anything about
Dead
it.
or Alive came out and it just didn't improve upon anything. It's the same game every year.
Yeah.
I
I mean, this is my own personal bias, of course. But
mean, I have some. Let's go
Soul
upstairs and play
Calibur
Dead. Let's
6.
go upstairs and play Dead or Alive 6 after this and see. Not 6, but one of the other ones. See how it works. Anyway, but then after it came out, it just didn't improve upon anything. Samurai Showdown was good, but like it was a remake of an original, and there was nothing but the combat. And the only reason it's still prevalent is because they're periodically adding more DLC. Plus, he's Hamaru from Samurai Showdown is coming to Soul Calibur.
Soul
soon.
Calibur 6.
But yeah, most of those other ones just didn't have as much traction. So even Smash Brothers, the one that's not a traditional fighting game, just had way more going for it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we'll have too much to say about games for impact. Sea of Solitude, Kind Words, Life is Strange 2, Concrete Genie, and the winner is Gris.
All I heard was Life is Strange is his Tumblr. So
Life is
yeah,
Strange.
I don't really.
Have you seen the
care.
graphics for Life is Strange?
No.
It looks like ass.
Like,
I might have watched like a let's play of it, like someone who's like making.
I mean, I'll say this: Calendar Words look really like an interesting game. Like all you do is you write letters, and it just generates it. It sends them to some random person, and you just basically write letters back and forth. I mean, albeit it doesn't really have a core concept of being a game, but like as an actual thing that impacts people's lives, it is pretty impactful.
Yeah, we can just skip that one.
Okay, mobile.
Fuck that one.
We got Sky, Children
There
of
was-
Light, Grindstone, Sayonara, Wild Hearts, What the Golf, and Call of Duty.
Let's say this real quick.
What the fuck is What the Golf?
It's
Like-
let me say this real quick before we go any further. That section of awards there is entirely based of Call of Duty and Apple Game Store, nothing else. Because if it
I
wasn't
did like Sky, Children of Light, like that was a pretty.
if
fun
it wasn't
game.
Apple Game Store, none of those games would be on there. It would be legitimately high-selling games. Like if you look on the Android store, none of those games are on there, and these other games sell way more than they do. But they don't want to see stuff like Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle or Fate.
Garbage like that.
Okay, no, they're not garbage. If people play them, as a majority of people playing them, you might not like it. But
Alright, Colton, we get it. You like your PNG collectors.
I don't even have any of those on my phone. I don't play them.
I mean, it's kind of ironic for me to say because I can play like 3 of them myself, but you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even have any. The only game I have on my phone that's like that anymore is Fire Emblem Heroes, which I'm not saying that one should be on there because that one is an okay one by Nintendo standards. It's not good. It's not fantastic, but I just have a personal preference to Fire Emblem, so I like it. But other than that, I don't think the other one. I don't think a lot of those other ones should be on there. But like, just if it wasn't.
Honestly, mobile games suck. Let's just move on.
If it wasn't Apple Arcade, I'm just saying there would be different. There would be completely different games. It would
Okay.
be so like the Fate mobile game has always been number one on Android and iOS. That would be on there, but no, they're not gonna put it on there because it's some weeby PNG collecting anime game.
You finished?
Fucking well, I'm sitting here because everything you had to skip the last like 4 awards.
Because
you gotta
we don't
make
have anything to say.
We got a
about
good
them.
one this time.
I can
okay.
make up for the time by filling it in talking about anime games.
Come on,
Plenty of
action
time.
adventure.
That
We
works.
got Control, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, Resident Evil 2, Borderlands 3, Death Stranding, and the winner Sekiro.
I would have taken either Sekiro or Resi 2, despite Resi 2. I'll say this, Resi 2 doesn't feel like really an action game. It's not until Resident Evil 3 did the Resident Evil games get more action-based.
Well, I don't like the category action adventure.
yeah, they're like 2 separate genres.
Yeah,
but
Resident Evil 2 and Legend of Zelda. Link's
Like,
Awakening.
I do have
in
a
the same
personal bias
category.
for Link's Awakening as a special nostalgia place in my heart. But
yeah,
like,
maybe the original,
I'm
but I
fine
don't.
if it does. I was fine if it didn't win.
I'm just gonna, I know a lot of people aren't gonna agree
I
with
do
this,
agree with
but
Sekiro winning, but
but-
again, I like Sekiro.
nobody's
so.
gonna agree with this. But hot take, I think Link's Awakening, like the new one, was a commercial failure. I think it was a failure because it didn't it didn't set itself apart from the other one except for looking different and having the Dompe dungeons everybody hated. So it was literally just the same game but with new graphics.
Yeah, but I still like playing it.
It could have been a remaster, but no, they remade it and they didn't like add anything to the remake. It was just
Honestly, I thought it was fine how it was.
well, yeah, because it's a good game, but with slightly different graphics. There's no way it could be bad at that point.
It's like Dark Souls remaster.
It wasn't-
bad because it just didn't change anything.
Well, that's a remaster though. This is a remake. It's a completely redoing
No,
of the game.
I mean, Dark Souls remaster was just higher graphics. Like they didn't change
yeah,
anything about it.
so basically, this new Zelda game should be a remaster, but it's not because they completely worked it from the ground up.
I guess
but there was
the
no
difference
point.
between remaster and remake. Like those are like honestly they're like misused half the time.
Remaster is just anything that is just the normal game, not built from the ground up, but just graphically upgraded. Remake is worked from the ground up, and it has new elements included.
Mm-hmm. Like Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, like Resident Evil 2.
Like Resident Evil 2.
But fucking no, the Zelda one just didn't change anything. It just wasn't. Maybe it would be a little better if it wasn't $60, but it's not warranted yet.
Yeah,
Much
I don't
money.
think it was worth $60, but I still had
Especially
enough fun.
Do you know how
playing
much it costs to get the original off of Amazon?
Probably like $5. I paid $5 to get it on my 3DS, so
It's
I
not that.
imagine
Yeah, it's not that
being
expensive. And some people even like the original design better. But no, I don't know. It just hot take.
So, audio design.
That one sucks. Skip it. All we could say about it is that Call of Duty
Resident
shouldn't have
Evil
even
should have
gotten.
won.
Resident Evil could have won.
All we can say is that Call of Duty had to be given an award because they were going to get.
It already won mobile, so technically it didn't have to win.
They paid fucking the Game Awards to give them 2 awards because that game
I think
plummeted.
the Russians just hacked the elections, and that's why Resident Evil 2.
The Russians like Call of Duty. Why would the Russians like Modern Warfare, where the majority of the enemies
are? If you don't
are
like
either...
something, you just blame it on the Russians.
Yeah,
right?
but why would the Russians vote for Call of Duty Modern Warfare?
Because if you don't like something, you just blame it on the
Russians.
Russians.
That's not the point. Half of Call of Duty, you
it's
fight the Russians.
It's supposed to be a joke, you retard.
It's not a joke, Hunter.
Fucking laugh.
It's not funny. I'm just saying, why would the Russians vote for a game where you kill Russians the majority of the time?
Because they're all suicidal and want to die.
That didn't make any sense either, but
anyway.
Okay, they did okay with art direction, I think. They had Gris, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, Sayonara, Wild Hearts, Sekiro, Death Stranding, and the winner, Control.
I
never played Control.
From what I saw, Control looked pretty good.
Control looks alright. I like the cover, and it's like red hues and whatnot.
Yeah.
I knew the Link's Awakening wouldn't have a chance.
Link's Awakening was okay, but I wouldn't say it was really an art design choice. Like it felt too similar to all the other toy and crafting games they've been making. Like
especially after Breath of the Wild, like that had such a unique art style.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
I definitely don't think Death Stranding should have won because its aesthetic was, let's take like Metal Gear Solid 5's engine and make it look a little nicer. It doesn't have its own style. It's just let's make the game look a lot like real life.
That kind of is a style if you want to,
Okay, then you might as well just say the entire Earth in real life wins the award because it's just what it is. It's
but
just
this
normal.
is the video games awards.
The only aesthetic from it was like, okay, there's black goop alien monsters and shit, and that's it. It literally just looks like the more recent Prey games, generic ass black alien enemies. Hate that game.
Prey was good.
The original Prey was good.
You shut your mouth. The
original one.
It was from the makers of Dishonored.
The original Indian Tommy from Prey 1 who would walk into the bathroom at the beginning of the game and go, "Oh, that fucking smells." That was
all
a
you
good
do
game.
Is shoot people. Like
Oh,
it's interesting.
that's
they
like
did
every
interesting
first-person
things
shooter,
for that
Paul.
time.
Because
Not
nobody,
Prey, not the remake of Prey.
because
like,
nobody
it was
cared.
so unique in how you could go around and everything.
It was legit like every other game that came out like that at the time. It was just, you're on a spaceship, there's some mysterious monster that's killing people, solve the mystery in space, that's it.
No,
it was,
that's such a wide category, and there weren't
Yeah.
that many games like that. There's like that,
I
System
would've-
Shock, and that was like, System Shock was 20 years ago.
the Prey,
Was one of
the
the
new
Mass Effect
Prey,
games
I
like
would have
that?
rather played goddamn motherfucking Mass Effect Andromeda over it.
Okay, now you're just being silly. Come
No,
on.
I'm saying
This
that.
was from the makers of Dishonored, and it had
Yeah, but
that
you know
sort
what?
of
It's
stuff.
not
So
Dishonored.
good. Yeah, it was sci-fi, so it had all these guns.
Dishonored was way
all
better.
these guns.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not making great points for the
so
game
do
because
kids
I don't
in
know that
school,
much
and
about
that's
it,
not
but
fun.
I know that it's good.
Kids in school have guns, and that doesn't make it fun.
Anyways, what even was the category? I don't even remember.
Shark direction. Anyway, let's just skip it and move on.
Okay,
We agree,
but the
we
monsters were interesting in it. The mimics, because they
They look like
actually
the
moved
fucking
into-
monsters. They look like the monsters from fucking Kingdom Hearts.
No.
They're just black blobby
Let's
monsters.
move on to the next one. It's pretty garbage. It's like studio/game direction.
I don't care.
The winner was Sony Interactive Entertainment, Kojima
Obvious.
Productions, Death Stranding. The other ones were like whoever made Outer Wilds, Resident Evil 2, Capcom, Control. Control had 3 people: Mobius Digital, Remedy, 505 Games.
Did anybody else notice the one guy for
I really like Capcom.
Disco Elysium who walked up and looked like Mario? With like the red shirt and like the overalls and the Mario cap.
Capcom's one of my favorite companies, but I can understand
Yeah.
why Hideo Kojima
There's
company
best
would win.
esports event. I know you guys might
Don't
not
care.
like that Evo didn't win.
Yeah, I thought Evo should have won because, like, personally, I just think the games at Evo are more entertaining than League of Legends or anything related to a battle royale.
I guess that's just personal preference.
I mean,
other
that's
people
the
can think
problem.
that Evo is bad, and
Like, yeah, some people, I mean, it's fine people that don't like Evo, but, like, any of the battle royale ones are just so boring and generic and so much
Somebody can
Overwatch
say that about
too.
Evo.
Well, yeah, but, like, the thing is Evo, though, is its own event. Like, nobody else does fighting games or anything else outside of Evo. And Overwatch, Fortnite, all them, they're not the same games, but they're still people grouping around to go shoot at each other. There's so many events for specifically games where you shoot people, that's boring. And then I'm saying for League of Legends, I say it shouldn't have won because it's big, but, like, it's only there for, like, nobody's going to watch it except for the Asians. The majority of the people who play League of Legends.
Play it, like,
well, yeah, some people...
non-Asians.
Here's the thing. It's a 90% majority of Asians. And you know what? The 10% who aren't Asians, they don't get anywhere because the Asians play day and night to the point that they rule League of Legends.
It sounds to me like someone's salty they lost to a Japanese player.
I've never played League of Legends and I don't want to.
And it's South Koreans.
I'd rather play that one Lord of the Rings League of Legends ripoff. Champions of Middle Earth or whatever it is.
What's the next category?
Best esports coach.
Don't care.
Korch.
Danny Sorensen. I wish that Tiduan won because his name is Titwan.
I would have rather had Doc
about
Lewis
coaches,
from Punch Out.
All right, debut indie game.
Don't care.
Don't care.
Slay the Spire, Untitled Goose Game, My Friend Pedro, Outer Wilds, Gris, and the winner Disco Elysium.
Hot take.
It makes sense Disco Elysium won because it was like...
You're not allowed to have any more hot takes.
Yes, I'm allowed to have this hot take.
Okay, let me just...
Hot take. Indie games are what we need to build onto future big games, but not gonna lie, 99% of indie games suck ass.
I will say that a lot of indie games are kind of bad.
There's like 5 that come out each year that are genuinely good, and that's it.
Well, a lot of these are just concepts that are like interesting. I say Disco Elysium, it makes sense that it won so many because it was an indie game with a small team, but it was able to have like a huge world because they knew what to focus on. And
yeah.
Plus, that's the other thing.
Speaking of indie games with small teams that are going to be really good, 2035, my Unreal Engine 4 game is going to be released.
By the time
you gotta at least give it a name, man.
But by the time you release
that
game, there's not going to be nobody's going to even use Unreal Engine 4. They're going to be like Unreal Engine 6 or 7.
I don't give a shit.
Nobody's going to want to play a game that's graphically inferior.
I'm sure that they can easily, like, if it's made in 4, you can probably easily, I won't say easily, but you can probably, still just shove it into 6 and work just fine.
You would have to do a lot, because have you seen them going from one
I'm sure
version
they still
to the
have
next?
like the same, like Python. This is a bit different. Like Python 2 and Python 3 have like similar syntaxes. Like there's some different things, but like it still generally works the same.
Well, all I can say is
so I would assume that like Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 5, there'd be some differences, but like you can mostly use the same kind of concepts that you use in the previous one.
All I can say is that your game's not going to go far because you're no Satoru Iwata.
I'm going to drop it in like a single year. So
you're no Satoru Iwata making games on your calculator, so you're not starting from low like he is and working his way up.
Yeah, I really don't. I just want to have fun making it. That's all I care about.
That's what everybody wants to do when they make video games, Hunter. You're no different.
Shut up.
Okay.
Go make a game on your phone, smart boy. Be like all those.
Look, I can't think of anything to like program that's not a game. So.
You legit remind me of all those fucking gaming citizens that got their awards at the thing because they were all in some way an immigrant or a war survivor or something.
Yeah, some of those seem pretty.
It's
terrible.
like white. There's only one white guy, and it's like
how do I remind you?
The fat guy that's like a
I'm saying
veteran.
this. I'm not saying that white people should have gotten more of those votes. I'm saying you legit had one normal person, and it was an older white guy.
Wait, how do I remind you? Like what?
Because you're just like them, thinking I'm just going to make something that I can enjoy because I have some kind of impactful reason for it. And
I don't have an impactful reason.
Yes,
for
it is. You just want to enjoy
have
yourself.
Liking something. That's not impactful.
Yeah, that's
reason.
way different. But like what was?
Plus, you look like the old guy.
That's just
guy.
me like practicing my programming skills because that's literally what I want to do.
You sound like the Muslim women from Afghanistan who were like, we're going to practice all these girls in our school to make games.
Wasn't that the one that had like the one where you like get medicine packs or something?
No, that was the African guy.
Okay, but like all of those games just looked absolutely awful, and these like
I'll say
just
this
as a game without like.
I'll say this:
of it.
the two, the Afghani women and the African guy, they probably worked with what they could, because they probably didn't start off with a lot and they got more over time. Because like the Afghanistan women said they worked on multiple games. They probably had the least amount of technology to work with. The Afghanistan guy seemed to have like a lot, but he probably didn't start off with that much. But then like that one kid who like, you knew he's from a different country because he's got the voice, but they didn't say he was a migrant or he said he came from like a different country from like a war or something. All he said was that his father like died of depression, so he took Roblox and made a game Roblox. I'm like, that doesn't count. I don't care if it was just using the Roblox engine. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's not your own game. I'm sorry, little boy who wants to help people deal with depression, but you're not doing what the award is supposed to be replicating. Fucking God! I'm depressed, but you don't see me playing fucking Roblox over it. I go get actual help.
Alright.
Roblox doesn't help because people who are depressed don't play Roblox.
Well, I mean, people can deal with their depression. Well, I'm not trying to like start a whole discussion here, but I will say that people with depression can handle it in multiple ways. But anyways,
yeah,
let's just
but
move
people
on.
who are depressed probably don't play Roblox or Fortnite.
They could. You don't know.
If,
I don't know,
if a genuine 5-year-old is playing Roblox and is depressed, they probably shouldn't have been living in the first place. Because they have nothing to lose, they have nothing to live for, because they've done nothing but waste their life on playing fucking Roblox and going, wee!
Okay, we'll move on.
Homophobe?
Speaking of homophobes, family game.
Oh yeah, I like
don't
Nintendo's
care.
chances.
Yeah, we got Super Mario Maker 2, Yoshi's Crafted World.
Actually, I do want to talk about this one. I do
Super
want to talk.
Smash Bros. Ultimate and Luigi's Mansion.
I do want to talk about
Which
this one. What was the first one you named off?
I don't know if I consider
Super
like the
Mario
single
Maker
player
2.
game.
Mario
Like,
Maker.
I don't know why the single player games are considered.
Well, that's what I'm getting into.
Yeah, it's just me.
Mario Maker probably should have won overall because I could see people playing that with their family. What was the second one?
Yoshi's Crafted World.
Is that even
That's
two-player?
single player.
Maybe.
Yeah, single player. Why? It's not a family. It's just because a game is nice and for everyone does not make it a family game. What was the
Yeah.
third one?
Yeah, it should say like family friendly.
Like the third
Ring
was like
Fit Adventure.
Okay.
Ring Fit.
Which
Nobody's.
just came out and it's
Nobody's parents are gonna get up and exercise. So no.
I don't know. Wii Fit kind of made my parents get up and exercise.
Yeah, my mom played Zumba.
But nobody's gonna get the Ring Fit thing and do that because it's
They
pricey
did
and
with
it's.
Wii Fit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no. But here's the thing. Have you played Wii Fit, Ring Fit at all?
Yeah, I haven't played Ring Fit.
It
I've
is.
played plenty of Wii
It is.
Fit.
It is excessive exercise. Like legitimate. It's not like Wii Fit where you can do some stretches and like dance and whatnot. It's legit hardcore exercise.
My mom bought a Michelle Jillian workout Wii game. Okay, like they'll do anything to get.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure your mom bought that and then she was like, "I'll play this," and then didn't play it. And go, well, Hunter will probably play it, and you know what? I can tell that neither of you have played it.
She did play it a bit. Like I didn't play it because like.
Yeah, she
I don't-
probably
I don't
turned
care.
off
I
the-
just
she
wanted to
probably
play
turned
Wii
off-
Fit 'cause it was more
She
fun.
probably went into the settings and turned off the Wii Fitness Board function. Just use the Wii remote.
I did play a good bit of Zumba. It was Zumba 2. Zumba Fitness 2.
Is that like the game where you like?
It's like a dancing game, but it's
Oh.
slightly more
I thought you were
active
talking about
dancing,
the
so it's
game
like
where you like.
exercise
I
dance.
thought you were the game where you have a little cannon and you shoot the gems and they're
That's
like moving.
Zumba.
That's Zumba. That's
Yeah, like
skooma.
I do like
Skooma?
Luigi's Mansion
Skooma.
3, but I don't think it should have went a family game.
Hunter, tell us about
category.
skooma. What's skooma?
Dude, tell us about skooma. Dude,
Skooma. Tell us what skooma.
What's skooma?
Hunter hasn't played Skyrim enough to know what skooma is.
Guys,
Haha.
what's skooma?
Pleb.
Guys, I just got the first shout. Please.
skooma balls.
Foos.
Oh no, I
Bro.
pressed back.
Enma
That's
fucking
all I
life.
got.
Hugh.
Okay, what's the next
Yeah.
category?
I lost the awards.
Paul, you lost it.
Oh no! How are we gonna give them out to
Podcast
people?
room. We're deleting all of this footage. Start from the top.
Hunter, don't
It's
look out the
not
window.
footage, it's-
Don't look at the window next to you.
Why?
Just don't look out. Don't look right
You
now.
mean the star?
No, just don't keep looking.
Why?
Just don't do it, Hunter. You're gonna see something you wish you didn't see.
Bro, you're gonna be the creep.
Oh, no, Hunter,
It's
don't.
gonna be a
Don't.
demon.
Hunter, it's coming. Hunter, it's coming. Look. Oh no, there it is. Oh no, not yet. Wait. There it is. Oh. Oh, there it is. Gingerbread man. You can barely see. The audience at home can't see it, but there's a gingerbread man in my window. Or a slightly crusty black man.
It's a light show, just to be clear.
It's a
for
light.
everyone. It's not someone staring at our window.
We're also sitting in my room in the dark, and the only thing illuminating the room is a plugged-in Yoda Christmas topper with a green light.
And occasionally
Already.
my laptop when I open it up.
Yes. And the police gone
What?
by. Some of the Amish probably killed someone in a drive-by.
The Amish are probably speeding. You
They
know
pull out
how
their
fast-
flintlock
You know how
pit-
speed demons
The Amish
they are.
Amish pulled up next to somebody and just fired flintlock pistols in a drive-by on him.
They were probably both fighting over the same cousin to marry.
I'll give you 2 potatoes for my cousin. It's my
Already.
cousin too.
Speaking of Amish, best esports host.
I don't care. I don't know any.
Shogs.
Golden
Shogs.
boy!
It was the girl one.
I don't care.
The
Esports.
deaf girl who was like, I am girl, I play Fortnite.
Esports.
I'm not
game.
making fun of them, they don't know.
We got Fortnite, Dota 2, Overwatch, CS:GO, and the winner
Apex.
was League of Legends.
Apex.
I don't care.
I love LOL.
Strategy game. It seemed like there were like a couple different types of games in this category, like
Right.
Tropico 6. in the
Straight
same
up
category
Risk.
as that.
Let's put Risk in
But they
there.
had like Total War, Anno, Tropico, Wargrove, Age of Wonders, and Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
I'm so glad that one won.
I think that's
like
fine.
that's the only one I recognize. So
I know recognize a few of them, but I don't play most of them. I like Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is my favorite. It's not my favorite Nintendo franchise, but I like it. I will say though, Anybody-
you like your PNG collector?
everybody says Fire Emblem is just a dating sim, and you know what? I won't lie. The gameplay itself's kind of fucking boring. It takes too long to get things done. But like the story is alright, and you know what? Even if it's a dating sim, like people like it. If you probably sat down and you found a character that you genuinely liked, you'd probably have your character marry that, and then you'd be like, It's not a dating sim. I just really like the characters.
All right, but here's my hot take for Three Houses. Fucking tea time is the most uncomfortable shit I've ever had to sit through in my entire life.
Well, you haven't played?
I don't like that mechanic.
You haven't played Conquest or any of those ones, have you?
No.
In the Japanese version of those ones, when you go to your house,
Was it like the one where you could pet them or something?
Yeah, you can pet them. In the American version, you can just talk to them, and you can when they get done in the shower, you can blow on them to cool them off. That's it.
Yeah, like the tea time where it's
snacks.
just the character like staring like dead into your eyes.
And then you can look
This
at.
is the most uncomfortable
Then you can like
shit.
zoom in on certain spots to look at them. Like
I know that was so weird.
Like Manuel, you can look at her cleavage, and she just like says something to you, and you're just.
Like, I thought it would be like, oh, this would be a cool way to get some more support, but it was just the most uncomfortable 5 minutes of my entire life. But anyways, next category.
Esports team.
Don't care.
G2 one. Apparently there was action adventure, and now there's action game.
That was Devil May Cry.
So there was Astral Chain,
Skip.
Call of Duty, Metro, Apex Legends, Gears 5, and Devil May Cry 1.
So that's probably honestly.
DMC, I definitely think should have won. If not, I probably wouldn't have said any of the other ones because I wouldn't say Apex.
I don't know
but
if Apex.
Gears 5 barely
I
seems like an
would say
action game.
Apex was really.
I would. Yeah, Apex. I feel like
Call of
that
Duty
shouldn't
also.
count.
Or Metro isn't even like as focused on combat.
I forgot Metro even existed.
It's more like a stealth one. Yeah.
Like, okay, I like Metro. I like the one I have, but like I don't remember it's a thing.
But, okay, role-playing game. We got Final Fantasy 14. No.
Yes.
Monster Hunter World. That's barely
Sure.
an RPG. Kingdom Hearts 3.
I don't really know if I call that a role playing game.
Outer Worlds. That's a strong contender. Disco Elysium won. I kind of wish Outer Worlds won, but
I feel like like I said before. I just feel like it didn't come out. It didn't have enough time to be warranted of an award.
indie game.
Skip.
Outer Wilds, Untitled Goose Game,
Yeah.
Guitar Zero, Baba Is You, and Disco Elysium.
Baba Is You.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised Untitled Goose Game didn't win. Just
It's because the hype. It's because the hype and the.
Untitled Goose Game.
It's because the
haha,
hype and the whole
funny.
joke about the goose is over now.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm gonna
that's
say
like
it.
The dumbest meme ever.
Untitled Goose Game's a shit game.
I think
The game would have only been better if they genuinely had that beaker thing from the Muppets in it. Because that was actually pretty interesting. I was a little upset that wasn't an actual announcement, like an expansion or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would have bought it and played it. Because fucking... that made the game look funny. The way he was
But
waddling
anyways,
around looking
should
like...
have
he
had
was
a beaker to Fallout 76.
They should! Mods! Mods, you can have Beaker in the game. And he
Yeah,
just
they
goes-
need to add mods.
Honestly,
they said
mods-
they would have mods like 2019, and
Mods would bring
Times
me
are
back to
now.
Fallout
Yeah, but if you look at
76.
mods on like Fallout 4 now, it's so like heavily edited. There's like 20 total mods, and then none of them are really that fun. Like, I was hoping I could do stuff like make a mod where I can play as this character from this franchise or something, but no, it's like you can
Yeah,
play
might
as a
have
sim.
just been PlayStation 4.
What?
Might have just been because you're PlayStation 4.
Well, yeah, I know the Xbox version's better, but the Xbox version
And then,
still
like,
sucks
PC.
too.
I don't know if it's on PC, but PC.
Yeah, PC's pretty good, but at that point you can put your own in without having to use the mod function.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm
even
saying.
the mod manager I quite liked on that, like Bethesda's proprietary one. But I pretty much agree with the next one, VR game. There's Blood and
Well,
Truth.
it is Beat Saber, right?
Yeah.
I
Blood and
love
Truth.
watching Beat Saber.
Asgard's Wrath, Trover.
I will
Safe
say it
Universe,
was
No
pretty
Man's Sky.
useless. It was pretty
Beats
useless
Saber.
that they had Green Day come on just so they could do Green Day X. V7 was like, that's so fucking lame.
It would have been excellent if they brought Green Day up there, and then they just
and
had.
Green Day was the ones actually playing Beat Saber.
Yeah,
Their
yeah,
own
they should have had
songs.
some like completely other band like play their songs as the actual performers.
Do a
were playing
Weezer
it.
fucking cover of a Green Day song.
Yeah, they bring out Weezer to play it. Like Green Day has no idea this is happening. They think they're performing, but they get like headsets strapped to them and they have to do this.
So it was basically Beaker from Muppet Labs.
Yes.
Nobody fucking cares about Muppets anymore. We're not talking.
Yeah.
We're not
Okay,
bringing up Muppets anymore.
I told Paul, I was like, the Muppets thing was so dumb because why they have Beaker wear a VR headset when he wasn't playing a VR game?
We're not bringing up Muppets anymore.
But I think
Muppets are banned from this.
Did you know that
podcast.
Elmo and the Sesame Street people are Muppets?
We don't fucking care.
Okay.
Next category.
okay.
Best Muppet.
I had a bit more to say. I think Beat Saber is a great choice for this. Like it's actually a super popular one and it uses VR well. Like the other ones, like even the pretty good ones, like No Man's Sky was kind of interesting,
Is
but
it
it wasn't made for VR. Blood and Truth is like
Sounds like what I call my bathroom breaks in the morning.
it's like a first-person shooter, so it feels kind of awkward in VR. But Beat Saber was like a great VR game made for VR. Okay, community support. That's a
Don't
Fortnite,
care.
Siege, Final Fantasy 14, Apex, and Destiny 2 with
Was it Siege?
Destiny 2 won.
Destiny 2 and Fortnite, I felt like they shouldn't have won any awards.
Well, Destiny 2, like, community support, like they made it free.
I like.
Well, yeah,
I
but-
like Destiny.
But I guess they've been adding a lot of
I
stuff.
actually enjoy
That's the only reason Destiny
games.
2 won is because they shovel out new shit content every day. Like they add a new gun every day, and it's never anything unique. It's just more content.
I like.
I mean, you can like the game. I'm just saying that their support is just funneling more non-generic, like just more generic stuff every day. The only time they put anything new is when they do an actual expansion. And that's cool. The expansion's cool and the base game's cool, but everything else they
Are
add.
you saying Fortnite should have won over that?
No,
Because they just
but
had more skins.
no, but Fortnite doesn't do anything good either. Their support. I'm not saying this. Apex shouldn't have won because I mean, let's all go back to the fact that somebody from Apex called people on a messenger board or whatnot a bunch of bastards and like ungrateful people.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
See, like they're not very good, but like I'm like I love the game, but they're not very good people. But like, who was the other ones on there?
Final Fantasy 14.
Final Fantasy 14. They took that game from nothing and made it an actual good game. Why did that not win?
But they changed that like a couple years ago.
So they took a game from nothing and made it the way it is now, and now it's consecutively getting pretty good updates. So I don't know why that isn't warranted as much as a game that just keeps putting in random ass guns until they put out a fucking big expansion.
And, well, I do think that making it free to play was probably a big part of it because you don't have to pay to play it anymore. Because I know people hated it because like, oh, I actually had to buy this.
Well,
shit.
if that was the case, then when fucking Elder Scrolls Online came out and they made it like the way it is now, people would be like, oh, it's award winning.
Next category.
That's the last one.
Oh, is it?
Do we have anything else to say about the new Xbox? I think we have to.
It looks like a black GameCube, but if they stacked 4 of them on top of each other.
Yeah, I
it's
like
an Xbox.
I like it. I think we have to wait for a lot of information.
I think it looks better than the PS5, which currently looks ugly as fuck.
It's not the real.
It better not be, or else
I will
not
say
buy
this
it.
though: they only made a reference to the PS5 once, and for that game Godfall, and that it was an original coming to it.
Yeah, all of like the weird original things.
Look ass.
Like for like any game, like I'm just
Xbox
not interested.
Xbox
in
Series X has the advantage right now because the first game they announced for it during Project Scarlet was Halo.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I don't even think Halo's that good nowadays. But that's still something like that's my biggest problem with the Game Awards is their announcements were majorly new stuff that nobody cares about, and they only occasionally went back to here's something that you know, like a known franchise. Let's add some more games. And it might be just me, but I prefer franchises that we already know getting new games and new updates and whatnot than getting entirely new games from new developers and whatnot. Because the majority of those games, like some of those games, I could list off half of them are going to come out and nobody's going to give two shits and they're never going to be talked about again.
Well, I like sort of in between those. I like when we have like with the Outer Worlds. I thought that was interesting because it was a fully new IP, but it was from a previously well-known, well-respected
and
creator.
they do good sometimes, but like stuff like that one game Weird West that's coming out. I feel like it's going to come out and nobody's going to talk about it and it's just going to move on.
Yeah, it's just all of this weird stuff. Like
it's legit just the Weird Waste.
It's not super.
It's a game based on the Wild Wasteland perk from New Vegas. That's all it is.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to talk about Jerusalem next?
Those freaking Jews.
Anyways, thanks for listening to this podcast.
Wait, are we freaking done?
We're done.
Do we have any other final thoughts?
I mean, we can talk about other subjects.
If there's any more news.
We've already got like an hour 30.
I really like that Dark Alliance is going to be coming out. The trailer, I agree, was terrible.
Let me look at my news announcements. Nobody will care about this one, but the creator of Tekken, Harada, wanted to know if people were still interested in Tekken X Street Fighter. Because Street Fighter X Tekken came out in the late 2000s, like 2000, sometime in the late 2000s. But then they said they were going to make the next one, but then Street Fighter 5 and Tekken 7 came out and became so popular, so they delayed them. And he said, do people still want it? And I saw people were like in between, like, don't worry yourself about it. And I saw people saying, I've been waiting like 10 plus years, just make it. That's... Oh?
Okay, I agree the Dark Alliance trailer is utterly awful.
Oh! News announcement right here. Yes, you can lay the Xbox Series X flag.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that is like no-brainer. Like, duh.
PS5 Pro release date due 2024.
Oh yeah,
as Sony PlayStation hints at PS6 coming in 2026. Wait, that means next year we should be getting the PS5.
Yep.
And 6 years after that we should get the PS6.
That's pretty much what PS1 to PS2 was.
Yeah, but still, why would you? That's so stupid. They would try to like map that out early. It's like why?
Well, they gotta.
Well, I mean,
they've
it's
been
not
planning
like
this
it's
stuff
set in
ahead for a
stone.
while.
They could just be saying,
well,
like,
yeah, it doesn't have to be
this
set.
is like a general deadline for
But
us.
you don't
Yeah.
have to tell
But it
people
doesn't-
that.
Well, they mostly tell like their investors and whatnot.
What they need to do
Yeah.
is just basically map it for themselves, and then if it goes beyond expectations, keep pushing. Like just like the Xbox 360 whatnot.
I mean,
Look at-
I don't see why they shouldn't. Like, I don't
Well-
see the point not to.
Well,
like,
because
why
people
not?
are going to make a big deal of it. Like, look at the Xbox 360 and PS3. Those lasted way longer than any of the other consoles. And the thing is I feel like if they don't roadmap this as much, some of those consoles could last longer. Like the PS4 and Xbox One probably could have went on just as long as the Xbox 360 and whatnot. But no, now they roadmap. People are expecting them every few years to periodically make a new, better enhanced console now, which isn't always a bad thing because they're increasing how good games are now. But
It's
they
like
don't
the
have
same,
to.
The same amount of time because it was like 2006 to 13. That's like 7 years for the
Hasn't the
Xbox
PS4 been around
360.
like 6 years? Yeah.
Yeah, like 2013. and
Yeah,
then
I'm just
that's
saying,
7 years,
this console's good
2020.
enough that if they didn't have the expectations of making new, better consoles every few years, this console could go on longer. It's kind of like how the Nintendo Switch is going to go on for 10 plus years, because they don't have the expectations of making consoles that are continuously graphically great. They just want to make good games and a console that will last.
Well, like the Switch was just like it
these
wasn't
are
about new graphics or anything like that. It was just like
these are throwaway
making a console
consoles.
that's small.
They're consoles to keep you invested for a few years, throw it away, and get the next one. And that's why I'm not buying any more Microsoft or Sony
It's
ones.
been 7 years. That's a long ass time. Like,
For how much you pay, it's not worth it.
then just get a PC.
yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm getting a PC, and
Alright.
if Nintendo consoles keep doing the whole 10-year plus program for the consoles, I get those because a decade is worth the $300 to $400. And if the PS5 and whatnot are still at the $500 and $600 that they are projected as, I wouldn't buy those ever. Like Microsoft and Sony consoles aren't worth the prices anymore.
But anyway, I don't really have any final thoughts about anything.
Oh,
Xenoblade Chronicles.
like we
X-
said, Wolf Among Us 2 was pretty neat. That
Definitive
that's going to come
edition.
out because Telltale just completely shut down.
Yes. The Joker from Mortal Kombat 11 got a redesign from his original look. Did you see that? The
I
few
don't
second
care.
trailer for Mortal Kombat 11's Joker announcement, he got a redesign from his original picture. Because the original picture, he looked like Jared Leto's Joker or like the porn star Joker, and now he still looks like shit. But like,
Yeah.
he looks a little bit more like normal. He doesn't look like a stylish young dude.
He still looks most like Jared Leto, probably.
He looks like a pedophile. Let's just say that.
They would have like just they would have shocked everybody if they just did Joaquin Phoenix. Like if they did that red suit and everything.
Joe Quain, Joker,
Joaquin,
Jojo.
Sequane.
Okay, it was pretty interesting. I didn't expect them to announce Surgeon Simulator 2. Though I
Oh, yeah,
sort
that
of
game does
forgot
exist.
about
Oh
that.
yeah, I did see that. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That and Wolf Among Us. I was like, those are like two of the biggest announcements, and all they were like early-ish, like middle 2000s, like from 2000 to 2020, like where we're at now. Those games came out during the middle of the year, and those were like the games where like, let's make them, and then everybody's gonna play the shit out of them on YouTube, and then that made them really
Your
popular.
hand is raised.
My
And
hand
then-
is raised.
And then wait for me to finish speaking before you can answer your question.
I am calmly waiting. I'm
But
just keeping
those
going.
Nobody cares what you have to
those
say.
games were made, and they were like YouTube popular crazy. So now all of a sudden they're like, let's make a sequel and make those popular again because people are gonna reminisce. Like, I remember playing those. I remember watching like PewDiePie play 80 episodes of it on YouTube. They might be good, but I feel like they're making those based off the popularity. Yes, Paul.
Okay, so
Put your hand down. We're not doing that.
I think it was Jeff who mentioned it, but
Jeff's not here today.
some
Jeff's not with us anymore.
Jeff Keighley mentioned how they were moving from like having to go someplace to play demos of games to playing it in your own home. So I looked on Steam and I saw which demos were exclusive for the Game Awards, and I was surprised that they had System Shock. So I actually installed that this morning and played it.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
It wasn't very good. Unfortunately, like it's a remake of an old game, but it seems like it's closer to indie than a lot of
remake of
previous
the
ones.
original.
Yeah. Of
Why
System
would you want
Shock.
to remake the original? The original's so good.
To make it better, but it's like it really is a flat up remake, and it seems really dated and indie in a lot of parts. Like Attack, it's a pre-alpha build, so I gotta give it that. Like, and it run like complete garbage. I did it like 1080p, completely low, FOV like 10 degrees, and it still wouldn't keep it solid 60 frames per
Sounds to
second.
me like someone just needs a better PC.
But it seemed like it seemed very much like a slightly better fan remake. Like I'd say half of it felt like a fan remake, and half of it felt like a Resident Evil 2 style big budget remake. So I guess we have to wait and see. Like it seems like a lot of that game is about the story, and I didn't get into a lot of that, or like developing your traits. I only played it for about a half hour, but
Makes sense.
My hand is raised next.
Okay,
Hunter,
I raised my hand next.
question.
Yeah.
No, whatever.
Thanks everyone for listening to the podcast.
That's not a question.
This
We're
has
not
been
done.
We're not done. Colton says we're not done.
M64, Paul, Zhazi TheBeast, and Kolton, who now has a YouTube channel. Cole, yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Make sure you go subscribe.
In the description, maybe.
It's not pronounced yeah, by the way, because my last name's not pronounced Yatter.
I think it
Ye.
sounds better.
It's
yeah.
Yay.
Cole Ye. Sounds dumb.
Cool, yeah, that's just a ripoff of Zhazi.
Sounds like Cole.
Okay, if it was cool, yeah, though, I would have put the H at the end. I'm not retarded like that.
But anyways, go subscribe to his channel. You know,
Don't. I
just
however
have
you
2
pronounce
subscribers.
it.
I don't
so
have
far.
any videos, and I don't have a way to. I don't
He
have a
has
plan to do it
epic
yet.
content. Go watch it all.
I
He has
haven't
an
made
about
any yet.
section.
Go watch every single.
Don't read my
2
app.
subscribers.
every single second of every single one of his videos, and then subscribe. It'll change
Just-
your life.
Just leave my
forever.
channel alone, or if you do, I'm going to post videos of people having seizures and dying.
Juice World.
Quit
Juice?
talking about Juice World.
I think that's a bit.
Do you guys hear that? He
It's
took
a
all
he?
those drugs. Juice World, yeah.
He had a seizure and died.
Like he took all those drugs before he got into the airport, or something. If I had my phone, I could look it up, but I don't know where.
Do
it's
you
pointing
think
at.
I genuinely care?
Hey,
To pay attention to
well,
what rappers
that's just
do
what I
every
saw
day?
on like iFunny or something.
Paul, why,
That's not funny.
Paul, do you have any thoughts you want to say about the new One Punch Man game that you didn't know existed until today?
Yes, I found out about the One Punch Man game today. It was called like
A Hero No
the
One
Hero
Knows, I
No
think.
One Knows. Yeah, something like that. I watched the video right after playing Jump Force, so it looked very good.
Well, you weren't even watching the gameplay trailer. You were just watching the opening cinematic.
Well, the opening cinematic, the graphics look.
The game is the same
quite
thing
nice,
though. It's an
I'd
arena
say.
3v3.
Okay, it looks pretty nice.
Graphically, it's not bad either. We'll have to look at it more, but
I tend not to like anime games or Japanese games in general.
man likes Metal Gear Solid though.
That's different.
No, it's not.
It's like
It's Kojima Productions.
it's his take on like a Western game. And
You like
it's-
Paul
DMC?
just hates anime.
I never said
and
I like
Japanese
DMC.
people in
You
general.
love DMC.
I haven't
Paul
played
is a
through a single
giant
one of the games. I haven't
bigot
played
towards
more
You
than like
used
a
to
half
talk
hour
the
of
crap
each.
out of DMC.
Cancel this man on Twitter. He hates all Japanese.
Okay.
And wants to see them die.
Let me say my thing now. Can we do a few minute discussion on
No,
Star Wars Battlefront 2 2005 versus the modern
No.
one?
No,
I really don't care.
Because you've only played Battlefront 1 on the PS4 like a little turd.
Yeah, but I don't care about the second one.
Well, yeah, the second one's better
I don't
though.
care if they made it better. I just don't.
It's not better. It's not better than
playing it.
2005. It's
Colton,
just
I'm tired. We're gonna leave for play it in like 10 minutes. So
well, you guys gotta stay the night, so.
Anyways, it's 6:15. It's getting close to my dinner time. So, like I
Well,
said,
we have dinner ready, Hunter. Come
make sure to subscribe to all of our channels.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Don't
to this
subscribe.
podcast. Leave your thoughts in the comments.
yeah, tell us if you like this way better than
If you like this
The other
way
way.
better, then that means we're gonna have less
Make sure-
podcasts.
make sure you
because
Make sure you make fun of Hunter because he
Smash-
really screwed up the gain on this. It
smash
could have been a
the-
bit louder.
Smash the MF and like button.
Please let us know if you want our podcast from now on to be in the same room, because if you do, that means it'll be better audio quality, but it'll be less frequently because we're not going to meet up every single day to podcast.
Unless we're gonna move into the cabin.
Anyway, stopping the podcast. 3, 2, 1.
No. It's been a long day without you, my friend. So I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. It's been a long day without you, my friend. So I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. Sweet Caroline, dun dun dun. Sometimes never felt so good.
So good.
So good.
So good.
I'm
So
feeling
good.
fine. Dun dun dun. Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Digimon, digital monsters. Bakugan is the Blade Blade.
Let it rip.
Let it
Naruto. Naruto.
One
Sasuke.
Piece.
Da, 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 da,
I'm
da,
stopping
da,
this
da,
now.